What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
Cash hands, because that's what real poker players play. All right. These are a series of just hands that I marked for some reason because I thought they were interesting. There's nothing unifying them other than they are marked. And I will go first. Skate, you are up next. All right. Fold. The ace-9 suited should be raising here. I should fold. The ace-king suited should 3-bet, and everyone else should fold. Let's see if that's what happens. Oh, and then after getting 3-bet, the ace-9 suited, I think, should fold. That I don't know. All right. He did fold. What do we think? Should he fold?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a good fold. What's the line for calling? Ace-10 suited? Because it can make a straight?
No, I don't think even ace-10 is gonna, it might have some slivers, but I don't think even ace-10 is gonna call here.
All right.
The line might be ace-queen suited in terms of that, like, continuing. There's going to be some 4-bet bluffs that are going to be, odd, but I don't think ace-10 is going to do it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to share the whole desktop here. There we go. Let's look at pre-flop solutions. We'll take a look at this. My memory is that we're going to be folding offsuits all the way to ace-queen this early.
Oh yeah, ace-queen suited or ace-queen off will fold.
Offsuit, yeah, yeah. And so it's the ace-king. So let's take a look at this. The positions were, right, poker tracker. Positions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So low jack -1 and low jack. All right. So low jack -1 raises, low jack 3-bets. We're back on low jack -1, folding the ace queen, ace-9 pure fold. And there we go. Slivers. Well put. Of these. Might as well, in our world, we could load all the ace-10 into ace-jack and just say ace-jack and above, and then combine all the ace-4 and the ace-5, and then just bluff the ace-5 most of the time.
I wonder if against humans we can be super linear here because
Yeah, I think it's even more
just don't bluff. They don't, because they don't have the bluffs. Just don't bluff.
Just people aren't going to find a balanced 3-bet range.
It's not a bet. That's a good response. So
this early.
So it's like we should 3-bet like a solver, but we should respond to 3-bets like population because population overfolds to 3-bets.
Yeah,
we
I think so.
Do that because they under 3-bet bluff. Right?
Yes, I think
Good.
so.
All right. And then the other little thing about this is look at your pairs, how your jacks, 10s, and 9s and 8s fold. And your 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s, and 3s, and deuces call. And I believe that this is not because of what we used to think, which is because 7s unblock the bottom ends of his bluffing range and all that. I think it's just so you go to the river. I mean, so you go to the turn. So you go to the flop with this percentage of pocket pairs and this percentage of these. So you have to fold this many jacks so that your range after you call, and we get some flop, doesn't matter what the flop is. This is flop.
So my question would be,
is this?
We could look at UTG's, or we can look at the 3-betters 3-betting range and just see how much jacks, 10s, and 9s interfere with this 3-betting range.
Yep.
3-bet bluffing range.
We're going to do that now in a second, but I just want to point out, look at what this range looks like when we call. See how nice and linear the pairs end up? That's why I believe this is why we folded them, was to get this relationship. Okay, now let's see let's go look at your reason, which is, let's look at the 3-betting range from the low jack.
Yeah, I don't think I think we just don't want to interfere with the king jack, king 10s, ace-10, ace-jack. I mean, you can confirm this by looking at a little bit. You confirm this by changing out the view to EV.
Okay.
EV is going to work.
Strategy plus EV.
And then go to and then compare king jack suited. Like if you roll over king jack suited here. Okay, and then so raise is 0. So that tells me it's kind of a bluff.
Okay. Alright,
So I don't think we want to interfere with their jacks and tens.
so it may be both of these things. But I think this is,
I mean, you have a valid argument. I'm not saying you're wrong. It probably could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
both. Yeah,
Right.
I'm
And
old
here's-
schooling it. I can see your
Gotcha.
point, though. You have a
Right.
valid point.
and if I'm right, this is the important thing, is that if I'm right, then if your raising range if you're this range doesn't look like this, meaning if you're playing your 7s, 6s, 5s, and 4s more than this, then you need to fold them more when you get 3-bet. You can't look at this stat and say, I need to call 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s at full frequency if you're playing them twice as much as this.
Yeah,
And the same as if you're playing your jacks, 10s, and 9s less than this, although why would you ever do that? But if you're playing tighter than this on your jacks, 10s, 9s, then you can't afford to fold them at this rate. That's, if I'm right, that's the claim. And this guy played his ace-9 suited. All right, let's see how much trouble it gets him into.
And in this particular example, it's a 9 big blind 3-bet, which makes it even more extreme.
yeah.
Oh, he folded. He did it right. Good for him. Maybe
Do you
that's
guys
why.
think that sometimes people turbo up a couple blinds with their ace kings? Because they really want to generate a fold.
Yeah. And they and lower their aces and kings a little bit and raise their jack and push up their jacks a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
think-
just, let's just keep an eye if we see more ace king 3-bets
Yeah.
here.
But he's not super big because his 9 is the standard size if this was a 3 big blind raise. And so a lot of people have in their mind 9 is the size rather than 3x is the size.
Okay.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of that. They make it like, because I do see a lot of 9 3-bets versus a 2.5, but you're right. Maybe it's just because that's what they do when they see a 3 as well.
Yeah, they just got into that 9 habit. In the same way as you see 3x from the small blind and the big blind from people who are not going smaller because they have aces. They just got in their mind, a re-raise is 3x and didn't add on the extra one for being out of position. All right. Next hand, this is skate.
All right, ace king is definitely going to open and should take it.
Right. And since he doesn't, I guess the queen 10 suited either raises or limps. Let's see. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so we are in position. We could go 3.5. Let's go 3.5. Let's go around 10 big blinds.
Okay. And I would go to 9. But before this, one thing, everybody, is this queen 10 suited too early to open?
No,
No, it's.
you can open it.
You can open it. It mixes. This is just
Yep. It's cuspy.
it's this one right there. No, I'm sorry. It's this one. It's under the gun too. There's no raise there. Sorry. It's this one. Yeah, he can do it. He did. He goes to 9, which is the pure poker coaching answer there. And 9.5 would have been fine too. Folds around.
True.
And what should he do?
Fold.
Fold.
Fold, yeah.
And he chooses not to. And it's way off. Even queen jack suited. So these may have some pre-flop questions. That may be why these are here. All right.
Yeah, I would never open. Well, I don't think I would open queen 10 suited, 0 AV. Yeah, it's just, one of the worst. It is the worst Broadway hand.
Well, I think what's happening here is that people are being inelastic to position.
Yeah.
I mean, I think generally people have a 3-bet call, 3-bet fold range in their head. And it's not elastic enough to the position they're in.
Yeah.
I think
But it's not
generally population lacks positional awareness.
It's not a bad open, perfectly fine. But you're probably right about this guy because if he knew this, we're hoping if it's us and we know that, we also need to know this. All right. But as played, skate, you got a flop.
Okay, when queen ten checks,
Which he should do with his whole range. It should be a range check even when he has the ace.
here, you know,
Size.
we should have the best hands, almost always.
Yep.
I don't see them having any fives. They can have eights, of course, but that, you know, it's just going to be like 3 combos, I think. So we can check here with the ace king. I would prefer having a heart, but due to the board texture, I think we can check.
Yep. Now, on the fives and eights, he should have a comp. In GTO world, our opponent should have some fives and some eights, not a lot. And they should be roughly linear. He should have a few more eights than fives there,
Mhm.
Relative to his range. And I think we only check here if we have the king of hearts. I think without the king of hearts, we need to bet this all the time. And I think we bet it most of the time anyway.
Okay.
So we've got the check option, but if you're gonna bet skate, what size do you want to bet here?
Okay, I would bet maybe around
Larry,
somewhere
take-
around six
gonna-
big blinds, more or less.
Good. All right, so you're saying a third, and Larry's gonna put this in the solver. I agree with you that it's a third, and I think the heuristic is this. On many boards, and there are gonna be violations, in position, when there's a flush draw, we bet small. Out of position, when there's a flush draw and we bet big. I think that's what it was, right? Or is it the other way around? That the flush draw pushes the size down in position and up out of position? Is that our current theory?
I think it's more, I think there's more to it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just a pure heuristic, but
Right. The flush draw part of it is sloppy, but it's clearly not the case that the flush draw always pushes it up or always pushes it down regardless of position. So we want to know which position is more. And let's see what he does. There's the check. He bets exactly what Skate says. And the queen 10 must, of course, fold.
Fold.
There we go. Good. All right.
Well,
Larry,
you wanna
do
see
have-
this?
Yeah, let's do this one and then we'll go to the next one. And Larry, you're next after this. I will release.
You wanna see this off?
Yeah, just want to see the sizing.
I think we're gonna have larger sizes. I mean, this is a very condensed range, this
Yeah.
EP versus EP. But I still think we're gonna get bigger sizes because we want to get value from
Worse
like
aces.
ace, queen, like what's his fold? What's his,
Yeah.
yeah, we wanna get value from this like ace, queen, ace, jack, ace, 10, yeah.
So our
Um,
most common size is,
one, we're not looking yet, but we're gonna look now.
Right.
I was just making an argument there,
Okay.
Scotty. We're just using, it's a range bet, small.
range bet small. Okay, let's make it disconnected rainbow.
Do that.
Yeah, and then we'll go on. So range bet small. Not purely disconnected, but pretty disconnected. No different. Okay. It's just
Yeah.
small.
Well, yeah, there is a little bit more of a little checking green there.
Yes,
When it's not.
we don't range bet pure in the same way, but the size doesn't change. All right.
Okay.
Back to this. And the next hand goes to Larry.
Okay, it should fold around to button, gets to open.
No, what about sevens?
I thought sevens are in the big blind. Sevens are early enough. I think they do get some opens here. Cut off hijack, low jack. I think they get opens.
Yep, they mix.
So, yeah, I think it's like UTG +1. Yeah, I think it's low fleet. I think it opens. Sixes, I would call this, but I think they probably mix folds. It's nice having the button though, so maybe we'll get some calls here. I think with mixes.
100 big blinds deep, on the button, we can set mine this.
And
Mhm.
then, in theory, I think it mixes. And then ace ten can't play this configuration. Ace ten is a fold to it. They're probably gonna call. Or they're
No,
gonna do that. So,
call.
so when you get a squeeze from the big blind here, I think with humans, you can overfold. This is a pretty ambitious squeeze. But this early, I think we mostly fold in theory. We don't get to set mine at this price.
the sevens probably don't because they are gonna be in the sandwich. The sixes might after the sevens fold. And after the
I think
seven,
the sixes are supposed to fold to this
Yeah.
ambitious. I mean, this is a little smaller than what solver would be. I mean, especially at three bigs, but
nine.
I think essentially, I think this size prices you out of set mining in theory.
He should be at least, he should be 15 and a half here.
Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
16, who knows? But yeah, yeah, I
But-
mean, most people are gonna set mine. It's an easy game to play. So now,
You would set mine here, wouldn't you, Larry?
no, I wouldn't. Not
10
against,
10 big
not
blinds?
against a squeeze from big blind. I think big blind is too linear. And, yeah, I think I would fold this to a squeeze size.
But you want linear against us when you're set mining.
You
want
do,
that
that's true. And you're in position, but I think I would fold.
to play. Okay,
I would fold to a squeeze size. I would.
Alright.
So if it was smaller, I would,
so, all right,
so, he got two calls and he got actually a pretty good flop for his.
Yeah.
Range. I mean, neither of these guys have threes. All their. I think that they're a little bit face up. So I think I would range bet this. I don't, we don't know what the theory is. I think I would bet this. I think the pair of threes miss these guys' ranges a lot. So I think I would range bet this like B33.
right, like that.
Yeah.
A little bit big, but right in the range. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And now,
So sevens, I think just fold.
yeah, sevens, it's so hard for seven to hang on.
He's not going anywhere. So, sixes, I would fold sixes.
Oh, just so fold, just so fold. Just so fold.
These guys aren't.
This seems like a terrible idea there.
Yeah, this is
This is an
terrible.
idea, but this is a terrible idea. Had it been a fold to him, maybe okay, but
I mean,
again,
I think he's rationalizing that he has position maybe, and he can bluff on later streets. I don't know.
against two players,
Yeah, I think it's a fold.
yeah. that's-
So, okay, we get to 10. So if I was in the 60 spot, I would check here.
Seems
I
like,
have marginal showdown now and I've got two calls.
Yep.
See if either of these guys try to steal us.
right,
I would check. I have marginal showdown. He's gonna, yeah, so he's gonna go for it.
yeah, he just doesn't believe. He doesn't believe,
And I think, he's gonna win it. I think
Yeah.
his plan is gonna win it.
sixes have to fold. Right?
Yes.
Yes,
Against this size, and essentially he's pot committed. You'd have to be more of a sicko than I am to go with your second pair here.
Right.
This size,
I am so rooting for ace ten to win this hand right now.
I think it's gonna fold. I think he's gonna fold. No, he's not giving up. So everyone's pot committed now. He's taking this all the way.
Yeah.
I would
So
check.
Didn't you
and,
want to see a six on the river?
Yeah, so big blind should check and he's pot committed his call. Spot odds are gonna be ridiculous.
And the sevens know that it can't work.
Yeah,
All right, yay. Okay,
a
let's
very
just,
interesting hand.
let's take a second and look at the pre-flop part of this and then we'll go on to the next hand. Who's gonna be Mike? All right. So,
The interesting part here is if would you guys ever call turn with our turn second pair against that sizing? Am I
If you-
nit?
well, here's the thing. The reason you're checking there is because you have a marginally made hand.
You are, but then you face a very large size.
You do face a very large size and you think he's got a lot of queens in it, but if you,
Yeah. What do you guys think? Because, I might be a mistake. I might be overfolding in this situation. You just bet like a B60 into two
into
people.
two players, one of whom called behind,
It's pretty fucking ballsy.
and there's no draws on this board.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for backdoor.
Yeah, there's backdoors.
Enos, what are you check calling on time? I would trap queen some here sometimes. I would check call aces and kings. I'd check call ace, kings, spades.
So that was his raise. There, and then the button comes in,
See if the button gets flats with sixes. I'm not sure it does.
flats sixes. I
Very
think-
low frequency.
But totally fine. He does. Now the big blind,
I think this is ambitious. I think this is,
ace 10 off.
yeah,
is-
this is really
is-
ambitious.
yeah. Yeah, your bluffs come from hands with more post flop playability.
Yeah.
There's your world of bluffs. These are mergey bluffs. There's some value there to it. But these are your real bluffs and they're all playable post flop. Yeah, so we decided to take ace 10 suited and play it like ace 10 offsuit and play it like ace 10 suited. All right. Good to know. Mike,
All right. This would normally be an easy one. King 10 would open. Ace 4 gets to defend versus the small blind open. It might actually mix. It might actually fold, actually, but
ace 4, no
I'm
fold.
not too certain about like just those low offsuit aces if they get to stick around. I know that they get to 3-bet ace 2 and ace 3. It's the ace 4 that I'm not certain about. It probably gets to just call, but
Ace 4 mixes calls and raises with very few raises, like maybe 25% raises is my belief. We'll go look. Let's see if that's what happens.
so now we
Something-
get this business. If it were me in the small blind, I would ISO to 5.
Okay,
Then ace 4 probably should fold at that point, and 6-5 should fold.
but he just calls.
Now you're in an interesting position here.
You
What
are,
with ace 4, I would just check.
you don't want to do this?
I don't know.
Nope.
Okay. Well, that would have been
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not saying that this is bad or anything, but I wouldn't choose
out
ace 4.
badly.
You don't see that very often, but that's kind of a clever play, right?
Yeah,
I mean, but we do, I wonder if we have a sizing tell here. Clearly you're gonna fold, but
all right. So my sizing, let's see how bad my sizing is.
your
Uh,
sizing's
Your
good.
sizing's
1,
fine.
2, 3, 4, up to 5. And 6 because I want to lose one more big blind when I get bluffed. Which I do.
I mean, small blind limps. I mean, in my mind, they do not have any strong hands.
Small blind's claiming a limb trap.
Yeah.
And so. I mean, it's very hard. Would you, I mean, so what are your alternatives here? Okay, your alternatives are to shove. Click it back. Or fold.
Fold.
I don't think
Or
calling is in your,
call and play a
is your
hand
arsenal here.
able to play in position. Call and play a hand that when you hit your ace, you can't feel good, and when you hit your 4, you can't feel good.
Yeah, I don't think they're calling here.
Yeah.
Ace 5 suited or ace 4 suited would be a very interesting hand here. For
Mhm.
big blind.
Suited, absolutely. But
But this combo, you just kind of give up, I think.
We're even behind his ace 5 bluff.
That's valid.
Oof. Yeah.
You don't see that play very often.
Oh, that surprised me. That's how that got marked. And there's no solve for it. It's just what it is. All right. Fish cakes.
Cool. Okay, so I'm unsure if, like, with the full ring ranges like this well, but maybe 10-9 can mix, if someone can confirm that or not.
10-9 can mix. 10-9 can
Yeah.
raise there. And it's me and it's spades, so I'm going
I
to.
think it's low freak, but. it can
I'll be
mix.
raising this.
Cool. So yeah, let's fold to that and raise.
There's my raise.
I don't think queen can get in there. If it is, it's going to be super low frequency, but I don't think so with this many players. So I mean, it should just fold around maybe. I don't know.
The, the important thing about king, queen, I will show you guys, something on that. I gotta open up a file for that. But we expect that he's not, since he's the only one here, we expect that we're getting at least a call from him.
Yeah. So
That's it.
okay. Yeah, I'd rather three bet it than call it.
Yeah, there's no calls.
Yeah.
No.
And here I get you can continue this.
Yeah, I think I need to.
Oh, that's a nice flop.
Yep, that's not a flop.
Okay. I wouldn't play any donks here. I'm not sure if theory does, but I'm sure we can check it over.
I expect this is a check range.
Yeah.
I assume you're gonna go for a check raise.
I think so. Given that
Uh,
given that I only have the 10 of spades, so I'm vulnerable to, I'm vulnerable to another spade rolling off and killing my action, and I'm vulnerable to another spade rolling off and killing my hand.
Do you need to check raise here? I wouldn't assume it's mandatory, but it might be fine. I think you probably do, if you do it, you probably do it for like a smaller size.
Yeah.
Than
Okay,
bigger.
smaller size is what? What would the size be?
Let's say around 14, 15.
Okay, I think smaller is gonna be more like 18, 19, I think, and this seems like a fine way to do it.
I mean,
We're
like small, when I say small,
Yeah.
not like, yeah, less than 3x small.
Yeah, we're gonna run this for, we're gonna run this one just for sizing.
Cool.
And if king, queen, if he doesn't have king, queen, we're gonna give him ace, queen with, like that. Okay. So let's see. I go big,
Yeah, that is quite big.
big.
I'm not sure I like that too much, but it's probably, yeah, it's probably fine. So okay. And then this guy should.
Just folds. Yeah,
I
small is
wonder if
better
you
against him.
can-
Yeah.
That's just like result, like based on the results of this hand. But
Yep.
can he continue king queen here? Have a lot better continues probably.
Well, I'm never gonna get king, queen with the queen of spades and king, queen, king, and ace, king with the ace of spades to fold. And I should be targeting a king here. I should be, what will a king call? So maybe my bet is too big. You ready with this one, Larry?
Not yet, but I can be.
Okay, yeah, load it up.
Let's
And
see if it moves on from here. Does he call?
No, he folds. So it's just the size. We're looking at just the sizings. And while you do that, while you prep it, what I'm gonna say is, when you're studying your three bets, from the, when you're raised and you're sitting in the cutoff, in the hijack and the low jack, even in the low jack -1, and you're looking at your raises, the way to organize this is not in the order of how does the cutoff play against the hijack, how does the cutoff play against the low jack, how does the cutoff play against the pre, against low jack -1, because those ranges are hard to learn. The order that the ranges build from is by where their position is. So it goes, I'm gonna call this, just because I'm gonna use my language here. The low jack, before the low jack is the pre, before the pre is the bullet. Okay, BL and pre. That's low jack -2 and low jack -1. I'm just gonna say it. So the tightest range is, of course, I'm sorry, it's tree and then bullet. The tightest range are the first two. Okay. Then it goes up slightly when, when you move yourself up all against this, then you move him. So the ranges go pretty close to linear, but in the order of, you start with, they have the earliest position, then you in the second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position. Then them second, you third, then you fourth, then you fifth. Then them third, then you fourth, then you fifth, then them fourth, then you fifth. Does that make sense how I've said it? I said that I said that with lots of different terminology.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll show it one more time. This is what I mean. You look at their raise here, and if you want to get a nice linear response in what you 3-bet, look at how it goes under the gun one. Look at how these build and slightly add on one, a little bit each time. All the way, not continuing, but then the next one is when he raises. This is how the linearity goes from there and up and up and up. If you do this, if you go, I'm going to look at what the cutoff does against the under the gun, what the cutoff does against, under the gun 1, under the gun 2, this will not go linear at all, because when you jump back to your hijack looking at them, all of a sudden they get tight again. They're very close to linear if you get that order. All right, what do we got?
I can show it if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so, obviously no donks here. I'm just curious who has more flushes. Hijack's got a real lead here. 'Cause hijack has, I think it's gonna have a flush. Not really, by percentage. Okay, check. What are kings doing? Well, pure betting us. Obviously, I think, they've got a flush. So, what size did he use in game?
He did a third. And what's the, and so that's a good thing. What is his good size there?
His preferred size is a B20, but he uses B33 sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
So the question becomes, do we
check raise the 10-9 suited flush? And what size?
look at this? Yeah, we mostly just want to slow play. But when we do it, it is down here. So it does make, so you found it. Good play.
Yeah.
We want to raise to 15. That's
All
our,
right,
that's
15.
15
And when he
bigs.
raises, did you give him a B30? Yeah, he gave him a B33. So we go really small. Good job, fish cakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember though, you guys are deeper than 100 big blinds here, so that would affect a little bit.
Yeah, but
it's
he
valid.
wasn't, I was super deep. He was only like 15 deeper, wasn't he?
So,
Started like with 130 effective.
my other question is, did he overfold? I think he did overfold here. I don't think he gets to fold top pair yet.
Probably not to that small size.
I think the reason I thought he might do is because he has so much suited hands in his range, so he can fold the ones without a flush draw. That was my
Yeah,
thought.
he does. He can fold. He can fold. Yeah.
It's mixed though. It's mixed.
Oh,
But,
actually, it's really.
yeah.
Can fold.
I think against like the average player, you could probably just overfold to the check
agree.
raise for me on the monotone board. I think.
Yeah. Okay, so
But he doesn't, he folds very, when he does his, he does fold his king queen though.
Yeah.
All right. And
You
he
need
folds
to
smaller size too.
this
He
is gonna
doesn't-
break the solver, I think. We're not gonna, we can ignore whatever this is. We're just gonna look at it. Okay, so yeah, what are you doing with your, okay, so top pair? What if you're the one with a flush? What are you doing?
Probably
Pure
raising.
slow play.
Oh wow.
You never re-raising.
But we raise sets.
Question.
That's crazy.
Do we want a spade? Nah, we never have a spade. There's a spades on board.
How do we not have any flushes in the continuing range? That's so weird.
How do
With-
we not have flushes?
Oh no, sorry. How does the hijack like not when they 3-bet here? They don't have any flushes in the 3-bet.
They have, we have flushes. We have,
No, yeah, but they're not raising them though, right? So after they
Oh.
raise, the solver like will know that the other person doesn't have flushes, and that's like a balanced strategy.
There exist nodes in the solver where where it breaks the rule of I have no bluffs.
Yeah.
It's rare, but it
it's
happens.
bluff's gonna come from a naked ace of spades, right?
I'm just surprised it doesn't carry any in.
It wants to have the naked ace of spades as a bluff. That's where
Yeah.
That's where it's bluffs are coming from. The case ace of spades.
We're good?
Especially when the king's on there. Okay, I'm handing it back.
Okay. What this chart here is, this hard to read chart, just to give you a sense of it, is the 3-betting responses. And this is in that order that I said, where you start with the villain's position. You know, that's under the gun minus, this is under the gun 9-handed. This is under the gun 1 9-handed. This is under the gun 2 9-handed. This is the low jack. This is the hijack. That's as far as it goes, because you can't be, because I'm not looking at the button strategies. And if you look at at the 3-bet percentages, see how linear they are? 64, 69, 72, 75, 76. There's a little bit right there, but it stays with that enough that if you think of it in this order, this is the right order to learn it. This is, for those of you who want to play exactly like Scotty, which I definitely advise you not to do, with my 1.5 big blinds per 100 massive win rate. I haven't looked at it recently. This is how I'm playing them. And you can see that it is pretty linear in its growth. There's not a lot of, there's a few things, there's a few little weird things that happen. But you can make sense of the ranges that way. All right, next hand. And the next hand is Dean. This is going to go off the rails. All right, Dean, talk. You're unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Oh shit. 10
Now I
jack opens,
Now I can
king,
hear you.
king, 3-bets.
Okay, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, 10 jack's got some raising there. And
No, I don't think
got
it
a
does.
sliver? Wait a
Hijack.
hijack, 10 jack, it has an absolute sliver of it. And this guy's gonna find it. It's an absolute, sliver of a sliver. Hijack. See it? See that sliver of a sliver? That's it. And this guy, we guess, found it. With 6%. He did. It's not gonna go well for him. All right.
No.
3-bet size?
Mm, 9, 8
Okay,
or 9,
right.
maybe 10.
Poker coaching would be, 7.5, 10, poker coaching would be 11. And, GTO wizard is what? What's GTO wizard?
Well,
11 or
Oh.
12.
Yeah, 11 or 12. And now, for those of you who want to play well against me, I think we're gonna see a sizing tell. No, we don't. Straight up poker coaching 11. And you were
should
gonna
fold.
go, Dean, what were you gonna go to? I forgot. You said 9?
Yeah, 9 through 11's good.
So here's your formula there from straight poker coaching. You can adjust it, but just have it in mind, which is out of position is 4 times the open plus any other dead money in the pot. And in position, it's 3x. Oh, I'm sorry. Poker coaching is straight up 4x. For just a 3-bet. That's what it is. Poker coaching is 3x in position and 4x out of position. So 10, and then GTO Wizard goes a little bigger than that, has the 11s and 12s. So 9 is a little small, but if you went 9 with kings
He
exploitatively,
should fold, but I'm guessing he calls.
oh, he should still fold.
Yeah.
No, just that. It was just that. Okay. Yours was easy. I'm up next. The hand should go. 4-5 suited should raise on the button pure, and ace 4 should fold, and 5-4 should defend 100% with a lot with a robust amount of raising, about half the time, 50% raises. So instead he limps. So now ace 4 against the limp. We learned this before. This is an important one. Do I know how I named this range? So this is something that's going to come up a lot. And we analyzed this of what exactly we should do here. And I think we said that ace 4 was, I think we called up to ace 4. Okay, let me see. Find limps. Ignition limping ranges. Limp. Sort by date. Modified. This is it. No, that's not it. Okay. I don't have it. I'm sorry. This is what their limping range actually looks like on the button there, from 5,000 hands, 4,600 hands, where they open limped on the button. This is what they had. And I'll find this later. Okay. I'm gonna guess that this ace 4 we discovered was a raise. I don't remember. Okay, that's what he does. So now facing the raise. 5-4 suited. Anybody? What do you want to do? It's me. Oh, I think the 5-4 against the inflated size should fold. He doesn't, he 3-bets, and now this is funny. And now it's got to go fold, right? Yeah. Good for him for finding that. Skate.
All right, I'm here.
The king in the small blind.
6-7. Maybe a little bit early. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some partials, but yeah, I'm gonna fold 6-7. It's gonna. Oh, and then kings. Okay, we could open.
Right, and by the way, that 7-6, you're exactly right. It's partials. It's thin, but he chooses to do it.
Okay, yeah, fold around to kings, which should go about 4x.
Mhm.
Let's go to 12, maybe even a little bit more since it's fine.
And now, against this, when raised, the 6-7, I think, continues. That's the one.
Yeah. I mean,
It does.
we're
The 2 points.
actually we're not exactly getting because the villain 52 is so short. We're not exactly getting the right implied odds or the implied odds that we want, but I mean, I would still call.
Yeah, we're not getting the implied odds that we used to need in the old 10 to 1, 15 to 1, or 10 to 1, 20 to 1 rule. But
Yep.
that rule has been violated by modern solvers. It's not the case. Under the gun here. Here's the raise. The raise is going to 11. I'm gonna do it in 2 positions. And we pure call. These
Yep.
low. ones. And we fold the jacks either because of the interfering with his bluffing range, or with my theory, because it allows us to have the right balance going to the flop, that we would have too many of these relative to the other hands. Now, if it's from the big blind, which gives us a 12, it also, there's differences in the range, even to 12, we call it. Which means that in this case, when we opened to 3, and he only went, so we have an extra half in there, this should be a call, and he's not a short stack. So we should call and try to cooler kings. So that's the lesson from there. And here is your opening range, looking of how much is that 6-7 there. They're there. They're represented.
Yep.
Okay. Larry,
Nice hand.
Yeah, this should fold around to the blinds, and I think ace 10 is mostly a call to an RFI here.
yeah. Ace 10 should just call. He raises. I 3-bet. How wrong is that?
I don't think it's wrong at all.
Here, let's see. Small blind raises.
I think
Big-
I think it's pure
Oh, no,
actually.
No,
Or
it's not pure.
Mixes, I'm fine.
Not pure,
I'm fine. Yeah, good.
almost pure.
It's just a really good hand.
Yeah.
Well, depends on your definition of purity. That's why you flat it. Yeah, so I would check a lot here. Just because range is so wide, intentionally folding. We're gonna, if you look at blind versus blind strats, so just everything's doing anything. So
Yep.
I think checking's fine here.
He checks.
You are really incentivized to get money in. I don't. Your SPR is what, 5? I think you really just want to bet here with this SPR. I would bet small. I want to keep this range wide.
Right. So I want to bet an amount that backdoor flush draws don't want to fold, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Or I want to bet an amount where I say, let's ISO against aces and the gut shots. So those are the competing things. That's the competing thing between 6 and 12. And I don't know which is right.
I
So
think
I'm interested.
generally, so your blocking is continues, that's bad.
Yep.
You're blocking 10s, that's good. And you got a backdoor flush draw. I think generally I would prefer to keep his range wide here. I mean, if you look at solver, your equity is probably in the 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would bet small. Again, I think in the solver, it's very hard to have any heuristics here because we're all over the place because ranges are so wide.
we're gonna run this one. I expect that I defaulted to 6. In Hungry Horse Land, I probably would default to 12. I'm not 12, I would probably default to 9, but I think I went with 6. No, I decided to go big and just ISO and just get it in against, saying when you don't have an ace, you fold. When you have an ace, you call any size. And I don't mind if queen, jack, king, jack, and king, queen fold. I don't expect them to, but I don't mind, and I don't mind making them overpay. And I will just lose the backdoor flush draws, will just fold, and I'm not gonna try to keep them in with a tiny bet.
Okay.
It's the best thing in the world that could ever happen.
No, that is.
Oh, this just got.
So this is kind of an interesting spot. I think you polarize here, but I think you also have trap checks. I think this is so good now. You have trap checks, but I think a B set. Well, let me see. So what would two?
What's the ace 9 gonna do first? Let's
SPR is 2.
Let's just make sure. we
I
get
don't
the-
think this card gives us any dogs. This is not an equity shifting card.
No, no. Yeah, let's
So-
all agree on that. Now now go on.
So you've got, I mean, so your 2E is like a B60. I think I would use a B60.
Right, so. Yeah,
I would use
B6,
a B60 or trap check.
so B60 is gonna be, like,
20,
24,
24,
it's
25.
24, 25 of that. And then if I do that, then there'll be 92 in.
And you,
Well, I don't
and
even
then
have
you'll
to
have
go
a
B60. I don't even have to go
on-
B60. Look, if I go half pot, then there's gonna be a total of, then there's gonna be 84 in the pot. And I'm gonna have 70. Oh, you're right. It should be B60. All right, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Yep, B60.
So, yeah, it's pretty hard to fold this. If you're ace nine, I think generally you call. Well, that's a very, very disciplined fold.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good fold. I think that's probably, I think in solver that would be a mistake in this wide versus wide range. So
Yeah.
this is the most bluffed configuration in poker. And
Small blind
so,
versus big blind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Clark would think this is a mistake.
Here's fold.
Small blinds part.
Well.
Yeah, Peter Clark thinks this is also humans overbluffing the situation.
I considered it a mistake. I want to call. Okay, so let's take a look at the sizes on this.
Okay.
All right,
I'm
we'll
curious,
stop
I'm
there.
thinking most curious to me is if you do trap checks. All right, I'll build this now. Raise, call. Piece of spades. 10 of clubs. 5 diamonds. Okay. I'm gonna share. Get ready.
Okay.
Hopefully I won't overshare. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah, so you've got checks across your entire range, which is really common in this configuration. Everything's checking all the way across your 62,000 combos. And you do have a significant range advantage. And a significant not advantage, but you're still gonna have checks. But betting is fine too. What size did you use with your ace ten?
I went to 20, the B70,
Wait,
B60.
did we not? We three bet here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I 3-bet.
Oh, sorry. Three bet pot.
Yeah.
Raise.
I didn't go to 10, I went to 9, but that's fine.
Okay, raise.
My ace 10 offsuit, never raises there? Well, that was weird.
Call.
You had
or
suited.
Oh, I had ace 10 suited. Good. I do raise there. Excellent. Okay.
Ace of
flop.
spades, 10 of clubs, 5 of diamonds, ace of spades, 10 of clubs. Now he's gonna check pure to you. You are betting pure and your primary size is B25. Let's see, I'm just curious right now. Let's just filter and see if size changes. So your top pair, your B25 is your preferred size. 2 pair, we just really, yeah, we just really want to bet smaller. We want to keep his range wider, especially on this. I would imagine, especially on this rainbow board when we have equity. I think your equity's in the 90s here. 80, 89, 88. So it's this combo. We do get a P75, looks like. It's not chosen very often. But it's not gonna break the solver. So you chose B75 out?
Yeah. And let's take a look at what did it prefer? That was the thing I didn't see.
It prefers, it's super polar. It's like, well, let's just look at the hand class. I think that's a better way to do it. Filters. Two pair. It really likes to keep size small,
Okay.
B25.
B25, and then the top, and then specifically for the top two, for the ace 10, what was its ratio of them?
25. The combo B25.
Yeah, B25. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty dry texture and it just, you really want to keep range wide.
yep, okay. So I was wrong on that. That's good.
But
No, you weren't.
doesn't mean it's wrong. I don't know if you're wrong.
No,
You're not wrong.
I was
This is fine.
probably wrong.
You get to do this 10% of the time. We'll just
Yeah.
say you rolled a 90.
Yeah.
So curious to see what he does with his, I don't think he's ever folding top pair to this size in this configuration. He's just pure calling. Which he did, right? He called.
Yep.
I'm just curious with this 8 of diamonds comes. Are you trap checking or are you more interested in going to pot? So this is, whoever said he had donks, you're right. I didn't think he would have donks here, but this is a donkable card.
Yep.
Which is surprising to me. I don't know how
Very.
this shifts equity. He checked, but he's gonna check his ace 9. Maybe he's just shifts equity.
Yep, he can bet his ace 9, but he didn't, and that's fine.
And then what do you do with your ace 10? You're pure trap checking.
Oh,
Your just hand is so good, dude.
Yeah,
And you're
the
blocking
diamond.
his continues.
and when I
Such
bet
trap
size
check.
that and when I bet the diamond, it's not common, but when I do it, what's the size?
You don't. do it.
Okay, it's 25 and you just don't do it. Yeah,
But
you're not trying for, you're not going for 2E.
you are going for 2E with the non-flush draw here.
Yeah. That's when it goes, and it goes
Which
50.
is, it's a B60, but they don't use that sizing, so they
Right.
give it a B50.
Okay.
Strategy, yeah, you don't have H10.
Mhm.
So if you do so the question then becomes, so I think that, let's look at what we're doing. I mean, you've just got like so much equity. Let's see what your equity is. Now you're in the 90s. See if you're doing that with what are your flush draws doing as a group? It's gone nuts. All these better flush draws that are ace are, it's just that the special unicorn of like two pair and flush draw. But these are betting, they want to get money in. And this is a trap for them. So, let's say you did do B50. I'm curious if what's he do with his top, is he getting a little bit nervous with his top pair? And again, I think that this is one of the most bluffed configurations in poker, so he's not gonna fold top pair yet. In theory. Anything else you guys want to see on this?
If that's a good one, where is my note from? Here we go there. Friends, all, okay. Arcturus is. What is Arcturus's? What is Arcturus's name online?
MSI.
MSI, okay, it's not appearing here for some reason. All right, so I'll just do with this. I'll show you guys one thing here and then we will go on. All right, let's share screen. All right, this is the Hold'em resources calculator. This is the HRC output of how the small blind should play when there's against one limper. The button, whether it's on the button or somewhere else is not that big a deal. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, this is poker coaching's chart. This is poker coaching's response, not our output. So poker coaching against one limper, when you're in the small blind, you complete with all the aces and you just call them. So it's linear along here. It's this wide. They're calling the blues are their bluffs, the reds are their value. That's a poker coaching thing. And then I have here, I assume that's poker coaching. I don't have, I gotta find where the thing that, maybe it's here. That Arcturus did for us, and I'm not finding my own answer for that. All right. So in the absence of anything else, here's a reasonable way to play your small blind against that button limp. And the ace four should have called. That was this hand here that we were at. This ace four. This is a good limp. He raised instead and got punished for it. And this hand was this my hand? Did I just do it?
It's my hand, I think.
Or your hand? Okay, good. Mike, have this.
Okie doke. So we should get to the king 10 should raise, and king ace 7 can defend versus a cutoff. It might actually get the 3-bet bluff this at some frequency, but otherwise just call.
Against the cutoff,
Might
ace
even
seven, a
fold.
really
Ace
good
7
fold.
might even fold to a
It's a
cutoff.
fold. It's a really good fold. If it does anything, it's a sliver of a sliver. The ace nine, the ace 9 and the ace 8 can play some. But then you have this. This is not a thing,
No, that is not a thing.
but this non-thing should work, right?
It should.
It's king
It
10.
should take it down.
So that's what I thought. That's why I marked this hand. That's not a thing. Okay. Fish cakes.
Okay. Let's fold to the hero who can open this sometimes, probably more often than the solver does. Which because I think people won't 3-bet enough. So
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And then obviously 7-2 will fold. King 7 should definitely not call. That should definitely fold. And 9s. I mean, this can, if you're playing, if you have calls here as well, I guess it can call, and maybe it can do a tiny bit of 3-betting. Yeah. And then so depending on how much you do open fours, you
Right.
could either pure call it or now you can fold as well, I think.
Right. And so the thing you said before was you can open fours pure because people don't 3-bet enough. If you make that adjustment and they 3-bet, they
No,
therefore don't have bluffs. That's what you've said.
Yeah, so now you do need
So
to
now you should
fold
play
more.
with that, with them not having bluffs, and now you can start folding your fours a lot here.
Yeah, I think so.
Good point.
It's know what adjustments you've made and what they imply down the road. But I of course call it. I of course call it with I'm going for a set mine in position here.
He has got the raise size is slightly smaller, so
Yeah, I'm fine. I pull 7.5. I've got 95 behind. Everything good. Except for that. That's not good.
Okay, am I analyzing what 9 should do here as well?
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'll probably do about. Oh, this is interesting because I think overall the range probably preferred size for the range is about 50%, but it might be 75 actually. I mean, I think 9s would like to go 75. But yeah, we'll see what this guy does. He goes small.
You go small.
Yeah, I prefer to go bigger here on this low rainbow board. Yeah, I prefer 75, but okay. We go small, and now fours versus a small size. You probably, I mean, in theory, you probably have to call this. I think.
Ever raise?
Oh, can you raise it? I guess. I may, yeah. I guess you could raise it sometimes.
No, never
But-
raise. We could be behind so many. Sorry.
As a bluff.
Yeah, it's a kind of bluff.
Yeah. But yeah, probably not like if the solver is racist, it would be like 5% of the time. Like 10% of the time or something. Yes, so call is probably fine. Okay, on an 8. What do we want to do with the range now? How much ATEX does either player have?
I have a lot more than he does now.
Do you?
After being filtered, I have a lot more 8x.
Oh, in terms of like your frequency, yeah.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. But he's definitely like just has an overpair advantage, like
Yes.
clearly. So probably go like big again, I'd imagine. Maybe just 75 again, I would do. And maybe in like with his range, maybe 9s is more like checking more now, but just because like it's after you filtered, it's not gonna have as high equity now. And you will have overpairs still to the 9s, so like you'll have 10s and jacks.
Which don't want to fold, but don't want to raise to be in against his when he has an 8 and when he has aces. Queen.
I mean, this guy's 9s probably don't want to bet as much because you still have jacks and 10s. So yeah, like the equity of his 9s is just down. So maybe they don't bet as much. But like I reckon his range overall is just gonna bet big again. But small. This is just really weird, and it just kind of just tells you his hand, I think. Like what kind of hands would you bet small here with? Like, do you normally it's just going to be some like medium equity hand that kind of wants to get value still, but is obviously scared, which I think this is what this is. Maybe it's sometimes a bluff, but I don't think so. I think generally when people bluff here, they'd rather go bigger. Like at least 50%. I think. So with, I mean, in theory, I'm not sure. Maybe it starts to mix like the low pocket pairs, but maybe it just continues them. But against, I mean, now that I've seen this bet, I would probably just raise.
Yeah, it's a reasonable consideration. Larry, we're going to run this.
And just make him fold his like trashy, transparent range here, which is probably literally just like hands like 9s, and I don't know. Like that's pretty much it, really. 8 maybe 10s. Okay, Jack River. I think now you just check 9s pure if you did bet any. Oh, this is crazy.
Right. So now if I read that correctly, I have to raise, and I have to raise big.
Yeah, you probably just jam.
No.
Oh, I don't like call.
No, neither do I. That's all right.
Yeah.
Misplayed in every way, didn't detect any of the important things. All right, let's see this one, Larry.
I think if you do anything
Hijack
on the river,
versus
it's like
small blind 3-bet, right?
This is hijack versus small blind 3-bet, and the flop is going to be 6 of spades, 8 of clubs, 2 of hearts when you're ready.
6 of spades, 8 of hearts,
Clubs.
2 clubs.
8 of clubs, 2 of hearts, but that's fine.
Oops.
What happened on the river? It went bet call. Arturus, would you, if you still have it, if you still have the image of what of the HRC output that we did, why don't in our Discord chat, resend that to me. For how he responded to a single limper. When like the button limped and we were in the small blind. I was looking for that and I wasn't finding our Discord chat.
We'll see.
Oh, maybe because your name is different on Discord than it is, here. Maybe that's why. Let me look.
I'll see.
What's your name on Discord?
Arturos.
Oh, it's Arcturus. Okay, it's your real name there.
Yep.
But and yet you're still not there. Why are we not friends? I'm gonna send you a friend request now so I can get this back. Arturs. I'm going to add a friend. Arturas. Just Arturas, not Arcturus. There's no C, right?
Yeah, I'll message you.
Okay, there. Okay, I got it. Here it is. Arcturus. Oh, there's all our stuff. Yo, okay, I found you. You exist. I have no idea why I didn't see you before. I will now. Here we go. Small blind. All right. So you ready, Larry?
Yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah, this flop texture commonly is going to be very polarizing for a three better. So, three better here is largely checking. And it's protecting its checking range across all its hand classes. So it's going to check a lot, 70% of the time. And when it does bet, it bets B75. So we see this a lot, right? See where
and he's the three better here.
that's correct.
Right, so the three better checks a lot.
Three better checks a lot on this texture. And
Right.
when it does bet, it bets big. It's a very polarizing texture.
Right.
And it's
And
because
nine's checked pure.
nines do check pure.
Yeah.
The imposition caller has something very rare, which is a range advantage, and you have an uber nuts advantage, right? Right up here. They have all the 2s, 6s, and 8s.
Right,
They do not, which are combos the out of position player does not have. So if you look at his overpair, quite linear, but nines are checking pure. Well, not. He gets the bet some of the time. What happened in game?
in game, he bet small.
Okay, well, it's gonna break the solver, but we can try.
Yeah, maybe it'll come up with some meaningful thing.
Your under pairs are calling.
So the fours, I don't turn them into a bluff here,
No, you just call
okay?
a little bit. But
Then the eight,
okay, we're gonna be in a very, very low freak part of the range. And
Eight of
look at
diamonds.
eight. Um,
I found it, Arcturus.
so your nines are continue to check, but everything above that, all your overpairs. I'm going to polarize, well, I guess it's another B75. What did he do in game here? He bet small again?
Bet small.
Yeah, so we're gonna get a warning. This is a broken solver here. Yeah, this is just, I think we just.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't think that there's any validity to the solver.
Okay,
We can look, I mean, we're just like, It's just not solved down. Supposed
Yeah.
to call, but I mean, let's just.
Yeah,
At this point, my attitude about when you get to like
Yeah.
what essentially is a 0.2 frequency of this line. I
Yeah.
just am not putting any.
Yep.
We're not in a solved part
all
of
right,
the
let's not
tree,
even
so-
look.
Yeah.
Let's just say that I played it wrong. Okay. We are gonna go back to, let me share. There we go. And now I will show you this. This was the chart that Arturis made for us. This is the, oh, it's not gonna do that. This is the HRC output when the button limps. This is what the small blind does. So ace deuce is a fold, ace three mixes, but all our other offsuit aces play, kings from the 7 play, and you'll see there's a lot of calling. Ace 4 calls. You know, ace 5 and 6 have some raises. There's your raises. So this output can be trusted in the sense that this considers all of the factors. This was calculated with the actual range that the people were limping. And this was the optimal range against it, and it included the rake. So this is a good way to play. All right. Now back to the bad way to play. This is the bad way to play. So now we've learned. Up next is, that was Fish Cakes, is Arturis. You have a hand.
Ace 9 raise. Free bet
What size?
and 11.
Fine.
Okay. Fold 8-6, Ace 9. I don't know.
Yep, ace 9 needs to fold there.
Yeah.
Huge fold. Yeah, he can fold up to, what's his bottom? Where does he stop folding?
Could you repeat?
This ace 9, what's his offsuit ace that he doesn't fold?
Jack maybe.
Okay, let's see. I don't know it. It is. That was button raise. Small blind 3-bet. To 12 in this one, and then back on the button. Yeah. Ace 10 has a sliver of bluffing. Ace Jack is mostly a bluff.
Okay.
Right. And a little bit in this configuration, you get to stay in with some of your suited connectors, but you get to fold a bunch of them. And you get to fold a bunch of them because you have so many of them. Because your range, your initial range, had this stuff all pure. And the reason you call the 5-4, let's see if this is true, that you call the 5-4 more. Yes. So this, Larry, this pattern goes to my analysis here. It's not that the 5-4 blocks, unblocks the bluffs that the 5-6 doesn't. It's because you have it less often. This shapes your range going to the flop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, does.
You see it? You're there less there, so you call it more, and these are all about even. And then you have a little
Okay.
bit in the
I see
area.
your point.
All right, so that is going to be, we have the Matt Affleck rule and the Scotty argument. That is the Scotty argument. Okay. Back to Poker Tracker, and he needs to fold his ace 9, and he does. All right, I'm next. Sixes can raise 1, 2, 3, 4, and they should not be doing it pure in this position. They should be about 20, in this position, they should be about 12.5%, not very often. But he's gonna do it. Fine, my ace king should 3-bet him. When I do, and my 3-bet is a little bigger than normal. I don't know why. Oh, because it's not me, that's why. Okay, and then it folds around to the 6s, and the 6s here, if he raises his 6s pure in this position, then he needs to do some folding. If he raises them, if he's raising only some of the times, then he needs to call all the time. But he just folds. So apparently he raises his sixes pure. Okay. Skate.
All right, so we could partial open sixes, queens definitely gonna three bet.
Right.
To about, depending on the size, should be about 6 or so.
Yep.
7, yeah, and it should be heads up when it
Yep.
gets back around. Since it's not open pure, like you mentioned, then we could call.
Right. So if I were to open this pure, I have to do some folding here. But since I don't open it pure, I'm opening it specifically because it's 6 of spades, 6 of hearts in that order. I need to call it because I know what my range does. So I call. This is both very good and not as good as I want it to be.
All right. Board is definitely better for the villain. We have bottom set, so we can check raise this combo. This would be a good combo to check raise because we unblock the top pair.
Mm-hmm.
And with the flush draw there. So let's see if you do that.
I'm going to against his lots and lots of aces, but unfortunately he has queens.
Yep, nice hand.
So that's what happened. I unblocked the ace, but he didn't have the guts to have it. All right.
Mm.
Next is Larry.
Okay, Jack nine's too early, King Jack's too early, but I think one of them is gonna RFI.
King Jack
So-
is not
Yeah.
too early.
You can do king jack there.
You guys are quite adamant about this.
Yeah, yeah. Low jack, king jack, sure.
I hate King Jack. Hate it.
It is, I think it's, no, it's
No, partial.
in the low
don't-
jack, king jack is pure. It's king 10 that's partial.
Okay.
King jack is pure in the low jack.
I guess King Jack RFIs then.
Look at it. Look at it RFI. If you're remembering poker coaching charts, those were three big blind raises.
Is it important to know the EV or anything like that?
Now, if you want to see it, it's this.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, if you skipped it. Okay. But I'm not. And neither is he. But that's not necessary.
There's a poster.
Oh, there is. That's necessary. Yep, you're right. Thank you for the,
King Queen, if it wants to, 2-5,
how
5-2
did you
should
post on
fold.
the button? You're not allowed to post on the button. How did this happen?
You can-
Okay.
You can look at the text of the,
I'll look at the
of the
text.
hand if you want.
I'm going to, but it's just for fun. This is not important. I mean, not like the other stuff we did was important either.
More curious, right?
Yeah. Okay. Big blind posts a chip of 50 cents.
We're going to post a chip. There you are.
Maybe he's not actually the button and they're saying, and they're putting in the wrong position and who knows? All right, we're gonna move on. It happened. So yep, so this 4 is good.
So King Queen is better at I would 3-bet this before I call it.
Yep.
But he's probably gonna call. I
Yeah.
3-bets, it's better play.
Good for him.
King Jack should fold.
He's in position, but he still needs to fold. Yeah. And let's see how,
Call with his hand in the cookie jar. Find
let's see.
another person with his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, let's see what this, yeah, we don't like it when they play well. He was the low jack raised, small blind. Takes the not pure. Does it, and then when we get back to the low jack, what does he call? Offsuit Nothing. No offsuit calls except for ace king. There we go. He responds pretty tight. He folds a lot of pairs. And then here we see the same thing of the 2s, 3s, and 4s are going to be relative to, you know, relative to the, how often you open them. Same pattern as usual. So that you get this after the flop. Okay, fine. Be that way. All right. There we go. And there's the fold. All right. Now it is, who's up? Who went last?
Me,
Luke, okay, Mike.
Okay. Queen jack too early, ace. So in theory, ace nine ace nine should raise. Tens, 3-bet, ace nine suited. Cutoff. Potential 4-bet bluff. Potential call, potential fold. That's a tough one. I'm not sure what ace nine suited should do when and if he gets 3-bet by the small blind.
Yeah,
Probably fold mostly, probably depending on size.
I think it's a fold, and it's not what's gonna happen. Because of that.
Yep. So ace nine ISO, tens, 3-bet. Queen jack folds, ace nine should then fold. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a thing. It's probably got slivers in there to do this.
I think this
It
is a
might
bad
even be, depending, you could exploit somebody who's been ISOing pretty wide. It's probably not a bad thing. Now the tens are in a weird spot
I know.
because depending if there's any sort of table meta game stuff happening here, tens are probably just a fold now. I wonder if in theory it like wants to just 4-bet like a small size, but I think it's folding, and then everyone else should fold.
Right. So I want to fold tens 100% here. And here's why, although I'm wrong. So when the ace nine ISOs here, I'm going to think that he is very often playing either he's in the cutoff, that he's playing his low jack range minus the bottom of it, if he's playing like Joey. Or if this guy is a serial limper, he's playing his cutoff range, but with the bottom of it, but without the bluffs. He's got, or if this guy limps every hand and this guy's aggressive, he can play his full cutoff range, given that if this guy limps and folds a lot. But that means that a fair amount of the time, this guy is missing the bottom of, missing his stupid bluffs, his offsuit stupid bluffs that he plays here. When these offsuit stupid bluffs, all these auto folds are gone, I think this 3-bet is a bad idea. This good 3-bet on the button, I think, becomes a bad 3-bet against this guy's non-cutoff range. Stronger than cutoff range. Given that, when the 10s see this guy is stronger and this guy still 3-bets at this guy's stronger range, I think now the 10s need to fold. All of my assumptions were wrong. Except for the ace nine suited. Ace nine suited still fits in that raising range. But what he does is he folds. Okay. So yeah, I think that this is not a good idea from 8-7. Anybody think my logic is stupid and that I'm playing too
No,
naive?
like I said, it could be some sort of metagame stuff going on here. Like if your cutoff is like somebody who's really been pretty aggressive and ISOing limpers a lot, they have maybe a wider range than typical. I think the 8-7's fine doing that. But normally, no, in theory, yeah, you should just fold. You should just fold.
All right. This guy's a 7-7. It's only 28 hands, but this guy's a 7-7. Let's fold.
Yeah, if I saw those numbers, it'd be fold, sure, for sure.
7-8. Yeah. So on the idea of how many hands you need to be able to believe in this. I have been, playing a bunch of the sit and goes, so you only get 20, 30 hands on people before they're over. And after 12 hands, the people who are extreme, they fit that they fit that all the way to the end. I haven't gone back and viewed recently all the hands face up on those, but we're seeing people who have, who have 3-3-0 here after 12, 12 hands, and other people who are already at 70, and 70, 40 or 70-0. And then you look for the rest of the tournament and they play like that. So it doesn't take that many hands when these numbers are extreme to know something. And so 28 hands, 7-7, that's something. All right. And by something I mean is you can rely on this, and that makes this 8-7 even more of a fold with all this. But it worked. So maybe I'm wrong about everything. Fish cakes.
Okay. I think ace king off, the villain 39 will open. Okay, cool. Here's a break stack.
This is gonna be so bad for me. Oh, so bad.
This is not looking nice. You've been set up.
At least you can get away.
I'll probably just raise.
To what size?
Probably if it's like 3.5 to 4.5, maybe 5. I don't know. It's
Yep.
it's hard to say.
Poker coaching's standard here is 4.5. It's exactly a pot size raise.
Mhm.
Three times the previous bet plus any dead money in the pot. So it's gonna be 4.5, and that is what I'm gonna do. I know me. There we go.
Cool.
This ace,
Yeah, this should be it's interesting though, because obviously you can't use like real 3-bet ranges because you're gonna be slightly tight. And also I don't know if you have calls here as the button, which would change things too.
I could have called this on the button. You can
Yeah,
call.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
call
Like
small pair.
the small blind, right? Like his strategy will change depending on if he thinks you do have calls or if you're just playing raise fold.
Right.
This
would have been a really good. This would have been a really good candidate to limp behind, as it turns.
So I think for size, I would probably do something around like I think 20. Like something around 20, give or take one,
good.
maybe.
Sounds good. 18 or 20. He goes small.
Oh, way too small.
Now what does this guy do? Tend to
I mean,
bring down the hammer?
I just rip it, yeah.
Seems like a really good rip from him now.
Yeah, easily. I mean, to be fair, I don't know. I've not studied limp stretch, so
No one
who
has.
knows? Yeah.
All right.
Fold.
I'm facing. So I need to call another 11. I'm not getting it from either one of them. But his call inflates the direct pot odds. So it's not just the implied odds here. Behind, I have really good direct odds to go for it.
You're also in position.
And I'm in position.
I would probably fold here though, but it's tough. I mean, I think
you also have to consider you have like pretty bad reverse implied odds too. There's going to be a lot of pocket pairs in these ranges.
Yeah,
as well.
I could get set over set it.
Yeah, which is going to happen more often multi-way, especially against these kinds of ranges.
Yeah. I'm never ever putting him on ace king, this guy.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, very, very rarely.
I think because both these guys started with broken stacks. Just would check that.
Yeah, normally I would say this is like ace queen, king queen, like jacks through nines, mostly hands like that for the limper.
Yeah. This guy is not really broken. He started with 91, so he's not really broken, but
Yeah. I think it's safe to say playing against two recreational players.
okay. There is no way I'm going to play this hand correctly post flop.
It's
Unless,
going to be a tricky one.
I think there's a
I'm-
13% chance that you can play it any way you want.
yeah, no, I don't mean that. I mean, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna end up folding the best hand post flop. You know. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
it's
work.
very hard to hold on with
Yeah.
a pair of fives if you miss
Yeah.
your multi-way.
I'm not gonna get there, and even when they miss, so. Ah, I might not.
Oof.
I might hold on. They each have a,
Okay. This is interesting now.
Right. alright, you will start with this. You are Mr. Ace King and this happened.
I think you check more than bet, probably. Like just with your range in general, I think multi-way still, because even though this guy's limped, like he's limp called 3-bet, so his range is going to be strong. Like it's not going to be, it's not going to have like aces and kings and stuff in it, but it's still going to be strong range.
Yeah.
So with like a lot of pairs in, right? I think it's so many pairs. So I think I would just check a hands like ace king, and then well, this guy here. Again, your range is fairly strong too. You could maybe start betting ace king. You got the spade, like you got a couple of backdoors. Yeah, you leave it. Yeah, it's tough. Like 47 big blinds behind. And again, multi-way, I would just prefer to check more here.
I,
But,
oh, so, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
first
you can bet still. Yeah, like half pot.
If he
Mhm.
checks, which he
Not
does.
half pot, like third.
Now I've got to put these people on ranges now. And I think that the hijack has a lot of pocket fours, pocket fives, pocket sixes, pocket sevens. And then a lot of terrible player nonsense, whatever it is, because of his open limp. But the open limp and being willing to call the raise and the re-raise, what, I mean, it's gotta be small pairs and suited connectors, right? And small suited aces. That's what it's gotta be,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it isn't, but that's what I'm thinking.
I don't think you have. I don't know. I don't think I really like betting here with fives at all,
Right.
because yeah, there's flush like draw equity against you. You don't have any. I mean, I don't think it really matters much your suits, to be honest. You have like they're going to have so many pairs that I reckon your fold equity is so low. And yeah, they have like over pairs. They have like double over cards that will call you with like flush draws or backdoor flush draws potentially, right? Like I can imagine if you do bet this, and I don't think you'd use a big size, but if you don't use a big size, you do a small size. Like these offsuit like hands, like ace king or ace queen, are going to call you with a spade, I think. But like I mean, and not even just that, you're going to get calls from spades, obviously, and also just like any pocket pairs that didn't bet, like this guy that has like sevens through like tens or jacks that he doesn't bet, maybe then he's just going to call you. And this guy's still going to have some of those hands, right? The small blind raiser, maybe he has like tens here or jacks here. You just didn't fancy betting. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really like betting too much, but
So,
yeah.
so everything is terrible and I shouldn't play poker, but as played, my thought has got to be that the initial 3-better, villain 37, has some check raises in his range that he did this with. When he has his aces and his kings, he may do that. And when I bet and he check raises me all in, is the difference in the amount with the SPR such that I can't fold? Because my first thought is I can't bet big I bet small here. But if he check raises me after this small bet, like I bet 15, and he goes 75, which is 60 more, and the pot is already 65.
I think you just have to like. I think
Okay.
you have to kind of want to fold because
Right.
even if you think about it, like the hands that he is going to like raise as a bluff here, like check raise as a bluff here, are going to be like 2 overs plus flush draw, and that's still going to have pretty nice accuracy against fives. And the hands that he's going to have also just like jacks, queens,
Right.
kings, which just crushes you,
Right.
other than the good shot, and spiking a 5. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I have to look at it and say that I was playing this as a pure set mine, nothing else. But I decide to go small. I don't know, you know,
Well, you good equities denial, I guess. When they didn't call.
and this guy who should call here. Well, he's only got
Yeah, I
47.
think you should. Yeah,
Maybe
I
he
think you
can't
should.
call with his back doors.
Maybe it's just different multi-way. I don't know. It's like because how many people have looked at
Short stack
through
multi-way
like
solves.
yes, it's just the range, the defending range is going to be the frequencies are going to be so different. Like even if you look at just how much you're meant to defend multi-way, even versus a small bet, it's you do get to fold a lot.
I will say, just as an aside here, part 2 of Ike Axton talking to Jonathan Jaffe. Ike Axton was quite critical of multi-way solves.
Just,
He's
oh,
like,
Because it's just not like in theory, right? You just can't truly solve like.
yeah, I mean, his
multi-way
argument
spots.
essentially is that we're kind of like in uncharted territory, and he doesn't think that they're reliable. Doesn't
Okay.
think that they're good.
I think also the argument for problems with multi-way and GTO is just the fact that like there is no strategy which is like truly going to be because one player can make a like villain 37 right or something can make an error here that like loses him and you EV,
Yes.
but gives it to
Yes.
the other person. So like that's just the problem with GTO and multi-way.
Yeah, I mean, that's you're right. I mean, anytime someone makes a play that's off solver, then the
It
solver
can
no longer
lose
is
you
valid.
EV multi-way.
Yes,
It's like when
exactly.
someone's like it's like pre-flop, right? When someone's 3-betting you really, really heavy, you suffer all the EV, but the rest of the table gets to take you and the aggressive 3-betters EV, basically.
Yeah. I mean,
Especially,
his argument is
especially
that
in a
even as a
tournament.
baseline, he doubts their validity.
Yeah, I think that's it's just so complicated and deep, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's worth listening to if you want to nerd out on two really smart
What's it
poker guys
called?
talking. So if you go to GTO Labs on YouTube, you're gonna find a podcast with Ike Saxton,
Okay.
Axton and Jonathan Jaffe. There's 2 parts. He talks
Oh,
about
nice.
multi-way solves in the second part.
Oh, thank you for sharing.
No worries.
All right, before we move off this one, I'm gonna say one thing though in favor of my play, other than it worked, which is villain 39 is not protecting his range. He's not doing anything advanced. He open limped and then called a raise and a re-raise. Even the hands that we put him on, he shouldn't be playing that way, right? That's bad play. Villain 37, given the flush draw out there, if he doesn't have it, is often afraid of it and is going to bet his overpairs. Also, if his overpairs are 9s, 10s, jacks, he's afraid of the next card coming. So both of these guys are littered with just over cards. It's not always so good that they're both ace, king and interfering with each other, which is great. But there's a lot of ace, king, queen, and jack out there. And they're unpaired. So this is not a bad bet.
Also, it's interesting
about
to see, can you go back one where you were before?
Yeah.
It's just interesting to look at the pot odds you offer when you bet. So when you bet, you're offering 19%, you're offering 19%. And you can just see, it's also interesting to see how much more equity the ace of spades has.
Yeah,
But,
But that's specifically because that's with the king of spades out here.
yeah, and
when it
they're
comes
just
to
not getting the right odds to call, which is surprising, yeah. we always think this is a call because of implied odds, but for the ace of spades, he just doesn't, he's not deep enough for the implied odds to matter.
Right. So, happy, happy, happy. All right, Larry, I think you're up next.
Okay. I think in low jack, you are going to get some low frequency RFIs here.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think it's pure, but it might be pure. It depends on the salt. I mean,
it is
poker
75%.
coaching likes to open this pure, but
Yeah.
The aces are gonna three bet you.
Yeah, it's 75% here-ish.
Yeah. Aces are gonna three bet you. You've got a four better fold.
I'm folding.
Yeah. Yeah.
The aces were on the button, I think.
I don't think poker, I don't think GTO wizard finds four bets here. I think GTO, I think,
He
poker
finds them here.
coaching does sometimes.
There they are. They're equivalent, you know, they put them in the ace five and the king six, so.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nice answer.
Mike. We had one go well for me. We're gonna have two go bad.
Here we go. I was muted. Ace, queen, open. King, queen, I think is a little too early to three bet there.
Definitely.
Deuces should fold, but you know, who knows what these guys do. Assuming deuces do the correct thing and fold, ace, king would three bet.
What side? I'm curious before you show, what side would you guys use here?
Okay, now that deuces have called, ace, king, I would use 10. It'd just be another unit. So
I
I'd
would
make
use
7.5, my standard three bet. 10 would be the three bet with a caller.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right. And I add in the 1.5 big blinds here. So I go all the way to 11.5 here.
Are you saying this one goes to 11?
This one goes to 11.5. These go to 11.
Oh, someone my age actually gets the reference. Thank
Oh,
God.
of course. Of course. Hey,
I
mine
bet
is
no one
mine-
else got it except us old guys.
No, they got it. It's just not actually funny. But they did. It's a reference.
What's 11? The 11.
These go to 11.
Oh God, it survives. It's the
Yes,
meme that will last
right.
forever.
One of the greatest movies ever made. Also, Galaxy Quest, one of the greatest movies ever made, and also Tropic Thunder.
Forest
funny
movies.
one.
What's more forest movies?
All movies better than they needed to be. Okay. Ace King three bets. Now what happens?
All right, so three bets, ace six, everyone folds, ace queen should fold. And yeah, two deuces now that they're here. Yeah, I mean, they should fold, but maybe, but this is a larger size too. So
It's so
they
much
should
bigger.
fold.
Yeah. Yeah. It costs them so much more. And that 2.5 there. I think the deuces sort of get trapped. If I call, the deuces end up calling. I don't know if they should, but they do. And with my fold that they fold. All right. Fish cakes.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Probably just falls down to the button.
Right. What's your smallest ace offsuit ace you're raising from the cutoff?
As a baseline, I know 50, I'd probably do ace 8, probably.
Okay.
But yeah, very easily, like if there's considering the big blind, I'd probably open ace 7.
Okay. Oh, because he's short, you would go down to ace 7.
Yeah, it's just not going to 3-bet enough statistically. So yeah, I'd probably just go down to ace 7 also because you're just going to have higher
Okay.
EV spot against them.
Do you do the island of ace 5? And you play the ace 5, but you fold the ace 6 and the ace 7?
Oh, yeah, you could do that. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure if I go yeah, I don't really do that. I mean, I remember, yeah, I used to actually. I used to open ace 5, obviously on the cutoff, but I stopped doing that.
Yeah. Let me show you the GTO wizard thing.
I know this.
Oh, you do know it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And GTO wizard does the ace 7 sum and the ace 5 a lot.
Yeah, the ace
A lot
5
of
is a
ace
popular
5, a
one.
little bit of ace 7, and like
And
that.
it's because it's like it's block. I mean, it's got better equity, and also it's just blocking 3-bet bluffs that would make it fold, right?
And the hijack has some ace five in it too. Poker
Oh,
coaching,
wow.
poker coaching doesn't have this ace five, but poker coaching does have this ace five. There you go. All right. And
Yep.
let's see, does he find the ace seven? He finds the ace seven.
Kid 7.5 3-bet.
Perfect. He goes to 8. Okay.
That's fine still. Fold twos, fold 10-9 off, and
Right.
fold
Fold.
ace-7, easy.
All right. Arcturus, apparently these are a lot of 3-bets in these pots. That's
Mhm.
that's what I marked. I marked 3-bets.
Good. Ace queen raise.
Yep.
Queen 10 free bet. King jack fold, ace queen.
Fold. Is this a good fold? This is not early position. This is hijack.
That's hijack. It probably gets some 4-bet bluffs here, four bets here, but to the larger size, it probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
Maybe the larger size makes it a better 4-bet.
Oh, really?
The button 3-bet him with his queen 10, which Arcturus accurately grabbed.
How is it big sizing? Is it big 20?
It's 8 instead of 7. Oh, it's 9. It's 9.
What do you mean 9?
It's not, he went to 9. He went from 2.5 to 9. This should be a 7.5.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with that, yeah, ace queen fold is probably too tight, including the, because this raise size is not indicative of hand strength. It's just indicative of, we believe it's indicative of somebody who thinks that 9 is right. Because 9 is right when they raise to 3.
Okay, so EV exactly same he can do.
Yeah,
He can free 4-bet or call,
That's what I think. I think this is,
but it's on it.
all right.
What do you
So-
think the bigger size 3-bet would do in a solver? Make it more of a 3-bet or start mixing in folds more?
What it does is you take the whole range, you compress it, and then after you have fewer, and then the percentage of raises to calls changes. So you call, so my overall percent right now is 24-12, right? So my ratio is almost 2-to-1 raises to calls, a little bit under 2-to-1. I believe when you push this to 9, my ratio of raises to calls is gonna go up from almost 2-to-1 to all the way to 2-to-1, even 2.1-to-1, right? But my but my folds is gonna increase from 61 to 66, 60,
Wait.
170.
So
So you're
for
saying
ace, for ace queen specific though, do you think you
Ace
start
queen
mixing in
stays-
folds
ace queen-
or do you make it more of a 4-bet? Is the EV better now that you're 4-betting?
Well, okay, so you see these slivers of calls, these tiny slivers that you can ignore?
Mhm.
Ignore, they go to 0. Now the question is, do any folds come in? And I don't think any folds come in.
Okay, so Scotty, why are we 4-betting more if we 3-bet bigger?
No, what we're doing is, Arcturus, we're not 4-betting more. We are more polarized. So we are folding more. And then of the remaining hands, we are calling less of them. And that increases our percentage. So it's not that you take any hand. It's not like you look at ace jack suited and you say, that it's raising. Let me go to percentages and see if I can say this right. So let's look at a hand like king, queen offsuit. When he bets bigger, we're not going to raise more than 15% of the time. We're going to raise less often. But we are going to fold our 9-9s even more. And therefore the amount that's left over raising is bigger relative. So I'll give my numbers here. I'm making these numbers up. I want to point this out, but this is my point. So right now we're folding 61.5% of the time, right? When he goes to 9, we're going to fold 70% of the time. We're going to raise instead of 24.4, we're going to raise 23% of the time or 22% of the time. And we're going to call, instead of 12%, we're going to call 8% or 7%. So the ratio of calls to raises changes because we fold a lot more of our calls than our raises. Does that, did what, whether it's wrong or not, did what I just say make sense to you, Arturus? Did I say it clearly?
Yeah,
Okay, now, given that statement, anybody think, now that we understand my claim, does anybody think that's wrong?
No, probably not. And I know that one thing that would be easily be illustrated here is the ace king that you see. There are some jams. Okay. That's just versus a 7.5. I guarantee you, if you could, node lock this or make the sim say he 3-bets to 9, that jam goes up significantly.
Yes,
The frequency of jam. So I'm wondering if ace queen, if the EV of 4-betting it is better when he makes it 9.
right.
suited maybe.
I think, you might lose all your king, queen raises. But you're gonna lose, or maybe maybe a slightly higher percentage of your small pairs will fold. You'll start folding maybe 75% of, you'll fold maybe 20% of each of these small ones. And these 38% will go down to maybe 25%. So you don't have as many of these. You'll fold your queen jack suited pure, you'll fold your king, queen, you'll fold these pure. Yeah. You won't fold your ace queen suited, but yeah, you'll fold all your mixed frequency calls. Having done this, too tight in solver, probably too tight in the world, probably. Actually, in the world, anybody want ace queen?
Yeah, I
Hijack versus button. I think
Yeah,
in
I
the-
could argue you could overfold it probably.
Yeah.
To population.
population definitely responds to 4-bets.
In tournaments you cannot fold it. In tournaments you will have to call.
Yeah. Population has 0 5-bet bluffs,
Yeah, agree.
making your 4-bet with ace queen, you making the fold there when they 5-bet you perfectly, you're right all the time. All right. That was, who did that last one?
Arturus.
Arturus did it.
Arturus did it. All right, good. Okay, this is me then. And am I on the right node? Yes, we just did that one, so we're here. All right, fold, 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 fold. Ace 8 suited should raise. Queen jack suited, should 3-bet him. King jack suited should fold to that action. But if queen jack suited doesn't 3-bet him, king jack suited should 3-bet him. He's on the button. He can also do some calling. And if for any reason this ace 8 doesn't raise and the queen jack does, then the king jack should 3-bet. So it should be there. There's the raise to 2. There's the 3-bet. And now this king jack suited should fold. Let's see if he calls. Nope, he does it right. A lot of people playing right. The ace 8 suited should fold. He doesn't. Am I right that ace 8 suited should fold here? So that was hijack raise of an ace 8 suited. 3-bet the king, here, 3-bets is queen jack suited correctly. Button, king jack suited can 4-bet. Sliver of it, mostly folds. I'm not finding this king 10, I'm not gonna find any of this here. And I think given that this 3-bet doesn't have the bluffs it needs, not finding any of this is probably good. Back on the hijack, ace 8 suited is a pure fold. Good. So there. And his size of 6 is fine to his 2, so yeah. All right. Post flop. He should check range. Queen jack suited. The 6 and the 4 and the 4 miss the other guy. I have nothing. And my queen is not high enough, so I'm going to start the bluff now. And I could bet range on this board after a 3-bet. Sure. And I can do it to 4.5 will do a lot. He checks. Alright. Now ace eight has a draw. And against the two overcards that he can put this guy on, that he loses against, now would be a very good time to bet. It may have to be a two-street bluff, but that's okay. The fact that he has an ace in his hand, so you can say he doesn't need to bluff, I don't think I agree with. So we're gonna solve this. He bets big. He says that he's done with this nonsense. And it works. All right. Let's see this one, Larry.
Okay,
Now, does he ever have, except he never has ace eight.
no, he's
Yeah.
not gonna have ace eight.
Yeah, he has nothing relative to, he has nothing that's even the equivalent of ace eight in this board. Does 9-10 do? No, 9-10.
Maybe ace jack suited.
No, 9-10. 9-10 is the equivalent, except that it doesn't have an ace in it, because he picks up a gut shot. So yeah, let's take a look at it. We won't spend any time on it. Okay. Tell
Okay,
me when you're ready.
All
ready?
right, one second,
Okay.
let me set up the flop. Six of hearts,
of
four of
hearts,
hearts, four of
four spades.
spades. Okay,
Yeah, the thing that makes the ace eight not want to bluff is that he has an ace, and the 10 jack, which is the equivalent, doesn't. So we're gonna lose that subtlety.
so,
I think his ace is losing to a lot of the guys' range anyway.
this is hijack's call range.
He's got the 9-10 there, which is gonna come into play.
Okay, so.
So
This is
on-
better for you,
up.
think?
I thought this was a check range.
I think that this is better flop for the caller. It is. But it's mostly jump. Actually, no. The Uber nuts go to the three-bet call. So this is this. So if I had to guess, we're gonna have high frequency check, low frequency big bet, but in position it might be different. That's more out of position.
Big bets.
Big bets, yeah. Well, yeah, big bets
And
mostly
his
big
queen
bets.
jack suited, does a lot of betting. And when he has the pair, when he has the combo that misses, he still bets it a lot, but he
Yeah.
bets it the least. So he chooses to check. Now we get the
Diamonds,
7 of diamonds.
yeah, we're betting pure, yeah.
Good. Okay,
We're
so the
mostly
ace,
small.
and the side, this is the thing. So to go big, because this guy went 19, he went over pot. He went 125, which exists. But for that, you need, I want to see the suits of I want to see
Doing
what,
it quads. It's doing it with jacks, with the heart. And then ace queen gets it,
but only with hearts.
ace jack. Ace five, there's some spades. And then we're going down to more
Ace
bluffy
queen, queen,
territory.
ace of hearts. So you're still looking, when you do it a lot with hearts, you need a heart there.
You're doing it, I think the way to look at this is that you're doing it, set like these, okay, that's obvious.
Quads.
Trips, and then your jacks are like, your jacks, which are your best three-bet call.
Yeah.
But you don't four bet this configuration by doing it.
And then down at the bottom where the bluffs are, let's see if if we're allowed to do this with the 9-10 with, with just a gut shot. And I think this is where I think he may have been out of line.
9-8,
8-9 is open-ended.
but yeah, there it
Yeah.
is.
10-9,
bet,
no,
but-
you get to do it. So he's right. If you get to do it with 10-9 of spades, you get to do it with ace-8 of clubs. Oh, no, 10-9 of spades. Do we do it with the 10-9 if we don't block the spades? So specifically 10-9. Nope, yeah. Any 10-9 can do it, except for hearts. Okay,
It's
Good fun.
interesting we don't do it with hearts, right? I mean, it's a front door.
Yeah.
Too much equity. We don't want to get blown off it.
So, but do we do raise, but we still raise it, right? Let's clear clear your filter. Because we're only on the 125. There.
You just don't have it.
Oh, no,
Okay.
10-9 of hearts. We don't have 10-9 of hearts?
So let me see. So we must
We
bet it
played it
here.
differently on the flop? No, what the? This is the flop.
Check. Maybe we check raise it. I don't know. I
You
just
didn't bet.
disappeared.
And
We
check,
were
check.
watching turn.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So mostly small bets with this hand class, but it does have some big bets and he made it. And he found and you never do the big bet with the heart one. You just bet small. And if he raises you, you let him.
Let's just look at one hand class here. We'll pass it back. So this is our very small group of flush draw, and we are always betting flush draws here. Frontal flush draws.
Right.
They're all hearts.
Now with the 10-9, let's bet the 10-9 small and get check raised. And see if we just call it or if we just jam it and go, give me my equity. I don't think we want to say, give me my equity on the turn. That seems crazy.
What size do you want in position to use here
Whatever his most common size is.
for a raise?
It's 55%. Yep, we just call. And we do it. And all the gut shots fold or sliver of crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Right. So. Except for the pre-flop call of the 3-bet, well played by ace-8. Okay, skate.
All right. We got a poster?
We have postage, and we have no
We-
small blind.
We got a post. Okay, let's go to 4 big blinds in the button. And should take it.
Oh, wait, somebody's decided to be,
What?
someone's decided, well, here's his thing, and it's not bad. The big blinds range is uncapped. You don't know what it is. The poster's range is super capped. He doesn't have any good hands. So in the hijack, you just go, gimme. He said, gimme. But he didn't bet big enough to say gimme, which makes it bad.
All right, let's go 10.
Like- What size?
10.
I like 10.
Oh.
No. Think we know what's gonna happen now. That was good. Yep. Yep, unnecessarily large, but the fear of jacks that people have. Or the greed of jacks. I don't know which it is. I think it's the fear. All right. Larry. Larry.
I'm on mute. Would that help?
Okay, there we go.
Fours are too early. But the sevens are not. So the sevens should RFI. Two should fold and ace four should call. It mixes some low frequency 3-bet here.
Yeah, now the fours can raise here. They can open if they want, and we certainly have seen them limp,
Yeah.
which is what they do.
Sevens are in a weird spot here. So, fours don't RFI here in poker coaching, but maybe they do in G2 Wizard.
Yeah, wizard, they have some. Not a lot.
So if I had sevens here, I think I prefer to ISO to 5 than overlimp.
Yeah.
This feels really cuspy though. I mean, I think nines I would ISO pure. What do you guys do with sevens here?
ISO.
Yeah, so I would ISO to 5. 5, I don't use 4.5 anymore, I just use 5. I find it
And how
more
about-
effective to generate the folds that I want.
Okay. He believes the opposite is true.
Respect, no 28. Ace four is gonna call because they're a broken stack. And then
And-
fours are gonna call.
And other than being a broken stack, what should they do?
If they were 100 big blinds,
Well, two things. Yeah, there's two. One is if you're playing a broken stack because someone made you do it, how should you play here? And then how should you play if you were a full stack? What are your,
Cash-
those are
cash
two.
out and change to Parcheesi.
Okay,
Is that an option?
nope.
Okay. I think ace four and ace five suited are your three up bluffs here. I think that I would do that bluff to like 15, maybe 16, maybe more, maybe 17. But then it gets weird because now once you get beyond 40% of your pot in three, I think you are theoretically pot committed.
Yeah,
So-
right around 33%.
IDGAF, shove it in their face.
Okay. So
Let's go
Give you
back to
100
that, pre-flop percentage. I thought that I learned that 40% is where we're pot committed pre, but you used a different number.
I used 33.
Okay, maybe I need to go re-examine that. So in your head, if a play would result in greater than 33% of, well, that's not the right way to put it. In your studying,
Yes.
if you are going to put in more than 33% of your pot, your stack, then you might as well shove because you're pot committed free.
Yeah.
I thought I would put 40. I'll go back and look at that.
Now, give the ace four 100 big blinds so that he doesn't have to jam. And you're gonna three bet him to around 15-ish, right?
16,
Okay,
yeah. With ace four and ace five suited specifically, I think this has
Right.
to go into your squeeze, whatever this is, squeeze,
Hmm.
four bet, fold four, bluff range.
Right.
But I
And-
bet the twos come along here, and then when the twos come along, I think frankly you are more incentivized to go to like 18, 19.
Yeah.
Yes,
so if the twos fold, I think that the ace four should consider more of his calls than his raises. Not because the fours are in the pot, but because the sevens are lacking the bottom of their bluff open range from the hijack. It's that argument again. So I don't.
yeah,
need to-
I mean,
I've
you've
said it
got a good
earlier.
point. I mean, I just think that.
Right.
If you're
And-
gonna have any cold four bluffs, this is the region they should come from.
Right. And so I'm thinking maybe, and I don't know whether we should call this a 3 or a 4. I don't, it's a 3.5, because of the limp. And I wouldn't be afraid of saying that in the configuration of limp raise, we can drop out the bluffing part of our range because he may lack the bluffing part of his range that's instant folding. That might not be a bad thing. This particular hand, out of position isn't great, but it plays great multi-way. So you
Alright,
get to take it multi-way.
see your
So,
point.
so don't know about that, but those are the thoughts. But now, so I believe the biggest, so we've seen 3 mistakes already. Limping the fours is a mistake. Raising the sevens to only 3.5 is a mistake. And this call. I believe this call is the worst of the 3 mistakes we've seen.
Yes, this is how.
Now, with these 3 mistakes, what about the deuces?
So the deuces are now more attractive to flat.
They are. Now, in GTO world, not only do you have no open limps, do you have any flats with 3 players in? I think it stops happening with 3 players in.
No, you don't have any flats, but it's
But
very
maybe
rare
you
that you can get appropriately squeezed.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see, are there enough people out here who have enough money to make this a good set mine? Yes. And then if you
yeah,
get,
I mean,
you fold.
if I were the twos, I would probably flat here and then fold to any further pre-flop aggression.
All right. But he has studied,
Okay, so this is, yes.
whether it's
So-
the right hand to do it
Yeah,
with,
ace four is out. You should hit this very aggressive play, should take it.
Yeah.
This is not studied though. He really wants to have a blocker. I mean, that's the value of ace four.
Right,
Part of the value of ace four is that it's blocking aces from
Yes.
villain 28's range.
mm-hmm,
He's-
and villain
he's
22.
unblock- I mean, you want to block some broadways. He's unblocking everything. I don't think this is
Okay. The one thing that I have seen that's gonna come up again in another hand, not necessarily today, is when we're saying it depends on how this guy plays, like how aggressive he is. The bigger a stack I see here, the more aggressive I think the guy is. Not because he's aggressive with a big stack, but the way you get these stacks is through aggression.
Yeah, maybe.
So knowing nothing else, I don't
I mean, in
expect.
theory, you want to
That's
block,
players like
in
that.
theory, you want to block the top of range
Okay,
of the ISO, right?
so if you were gonna do something crazy here, you should be doing it with ace five offsuit instead of deuce deuce.
No, well,
if you're gonna
I
do
know,
something
I don't
crazy.
think I think you want the 3% flush equity, so I think.
Oh,
you
I
wanna do
agree
it
with you
this-
100%. You want that, but you can't
Yeah.
have it. I said if you're gonna do something crazy, if it's if I give you a choice and I say you must play deuce deuce or ace five wrong here, you're saying you'd rather play ace five wrong here than deuce deuce.
So would
right?
I rather cut off my pinky or my elbow?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'd
And
rather
I-
cut off my pinky.
I agree with you. I think ace five is a better bad idea than deuce deuce here.
So what are you saying is not bad, Artoris, here in chat?
Oh, I should open chat.
What?
You said in chat, it's not bad. What's not bad?
Oh, it's from a while ago.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
11:27 earlier.
I
earlier-
didn't see the timestamp. No worries.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
guy, open UTG 5-4 offsuit, and Scott is saying it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he can.
So yeah, I think the twos here are, I would flat them.
It was. Maybe it was this craziness. I said this was bad.
That's bad.
It wasn't that. Anyway, moving on. Here we are.
Alright, so yeah, I think I would flat the twos here.
Yeah.
I might be a sucker for set money, but I think I would flat. I mean, you've got two full stacks. I would flat the twos here.
So if your only choices with the twos and you're not allowed to fold them is you must make the mistake of calling and being the third caller in and being the fourth player in, if that's indeed a mistake, or raising them. I think the raise is the bigger mistake. I think
I
this
agree.
plays more
This is quite
Right.
a stretch.
because this only works when it works. And meaning once you get any single caller, you are screwed. It's going to be
That or you've got brass balls and you just, I mean, you have the problem with these hands is that. So you see a lot in tournaments, you see a lot of shoving here. With these like twos through fives below 20 big
Mhm.
blinds, because it's not only about generating folds against late position RFIs, it's also that you have no visibility of the equity of your hand.
Yeah.
You just don't, you have no ability to understand where you are in the hand relative to your opponents.
Yeah, so I think I think the idea of doing some big raises to ISO this group is a good idea. I think this hand class is a very bad one to do it with. But I
Yes.
don't think the ace four can now. I mean, I think all of his choices have been
The
forced.
game is over for ace four.
Yeah, he just has to fold.
Might work. Let's see.
It's all about the sevens, baby, because the ace five's folding. Nope.
He's gonna play in position.
Right.
Okay, let's see if Dylan 24 can pounce our mistake.
Yes. Oh,
We got our fish. We haven't had a really like a clear fish thing yet, have
I
we?
know.
Let's
Unfortunately, the
let's start
side
up the fryer.
Exactly. We have the massive fish on the plate. The problem is sitting next to the fish are candied yams. The side dish is really good. So it's
Let's
hard to
get
get.
out the breadcrumbs. Okay, let's see how he does. Okay, so he gets to claim, like, this is really kind of like a really bad flop. Because I would look at this and I would say, oh, they've got a shit ton of continues here, because they've got their call to my size is full of jacks and it's full of 10x. And
Mhm.
it's got some queen X. And so But now he's gonna have to YOLO it. His only option is to YOLO it. This is the problem.
Which way of
So,
YOLO for 15 and let a singleton jack and maybe, not make
so our
pocket.
effective stack now is like 1.4. Is that
Yeah.
like 1.4, 1.3?
Yeah.
1.4. So, I would start with like, so 20, I would start with a 10 and shove 10.
And shove turn on any card that isn't a 10 or a jack.
It isn't a straight completing card. So it looks like he wants to one and done here.
Yeah.
And it's gonna work. So this is an interesting life choice he made.
Mhm.
Maybe villain 25 is onto something. We're the ones that are the fish.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that those are the kind of plays that bring you to 236 when you see somebody with 236 there.
Well, then we
Expect-
should all be playing like that, but it's very hard. I mean, it's a super high variance way to play.
They also bring you to 0.
Yeah.
Mike,
Interesting. I
Yeah.
would say that's an interesting hand. I'm glad I got that one. I
Yeah.
hit the hand lottery.
you did. Mike,
Okay, ace 10 open, ace queen 3-bet, ace 10 fold. That's what should happen.
doesn't this ace queen suited do some calling on the button? Isn't that the magic one? Or
I
is it
think
the-
it's ace 10 and ace jack. There might be some like a smaller frequency of ace queen suited. I know ace 10 and ace jack have a little bit more of a bigger frequency, but
Okay.
ace queen is mostly 3-bet, and there might be a little 20% call or something like that.
If I call, it's gonna be suit driven. Let's see what happens. Well, we start with that nonsense, which now distorts everything.
Okay, ace 10 ISO, ace queen 3-bet. Okay,
Oh, now
ace
we got
10
another interesting
ISO.
All right, we are
Ace
back
queen
to
3-bet.
ace queen is now 3-betting for sure. Look at that. We are back to 9-handed play. This is why we play at the 9-handed table.
Ace
We've,
10's not gonna ISO, I guarantee it.
yeah, we played a long time at this table before seeing this kind of stuff. At these,
Has
not
this
that-
been the same table or?
no,
selected
no,
hands?
no, these are selections. I'm saying it's been a while since we've seen this kind of play. This is great.
Yeah, true.
Ace 10 ISOs.
Okay,
And
they do ISO. Good for him. All right, now, to be honest, I mean, ace queen, no, fold queen jack. Ace queen is
No,
okay. You were circling it like you were thinking, do we need to
I was thinking,
3-bet?
no, I was circling it going, I think this guy's gonna misplay.
Yeah, it's a misplay.
Yeah.
All right, ace queen, I just would make it like
Wow.
16 probably. I don't need to oversize it. You don't need to like go
18,
like giant. You don't need to
19.
go like 3 plus, so 12, 16, 17, 18. Now you don't need to go that big. You can certainly. I would just probably go like 16 to 17.
19 and a half, baby.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I know me.
And should just fold.
All that sweet, no rake money.
No rake and look at all the equity that goes away.
So I've been playing this live game, just like these live tournaments I've mentioned before. That people get so pissed off at me when I make this play. I mean, I
Yeah.
have people grumble and look at me and kind of snarl, but I'm like, I mean, I've come close to saying, dude, we're playing short stack tournament. Equity denial is the name of the game, but I just keep my mouth shut.
Don't say those words. Don't say any of those words.
But I will say that I've not made many friends at this poker club. They all don't like it when I show up at the table.
Say, I like the chips. I like the chips. So go for stupidity and racism is how you make friends at a poker table. Look at the equities here. This is hilarious. Look at who has the most. Look at the king 9.
Everybody's blocking everybody else's outs. I mean, this
Except
really
for
is
the
kind of, I
8-9
think, a lesson
and
in
the 3-3.
blockers. here.
Yeah. I have the third most equity. Still, this is the right play.
Because you're double blocked, aren't you?
I'm blocked there, and then my queen is, oh no, I'm just double blocked. Yeah.
And also your flush draw's blocked.
My flush draw is blocked a lot, and the king nine is purely open. And the threes are the threes.
Equity now is so important.
But the threes have to either hit a set or they have to dodge 9, 10, jack, queen, king, ace. And all, they have to block all those hands. But luckily they don't have to block the straight. They don't have to dodge the straights because when the straights come in, so does one of those. All right. Who's next? Who just did that one? Was this you, Mike?
Yep, that was me.
Okay, so up next is fish cakes. You get this.
Okay. This is probably very low EV, or like mixed, or like just on the edge of pure. I don't know.
Yep, it's super mixed.
And then yes, let's see if the guy opens it or not.
It's less than 50% and it's more than 25%.
Okay.
He
So
takes
yeah, open, yeah. I like the size. And then to ace jack suited. No, I don't think we do king queen versus
mistake.
like
It would be
anything on 8. Ace jack suited, let's like through it, it's like 6.5, 7, something like that. 6 or 7. Oh, I don't like the call.
Oh, that's bad. By the way,
Um,
this ace jack here is not pure
oh really?
raise
Oh.
against bullet. These this ranges I've been studying lately, as you can tell. So just to show it to you, the ace jack is in the cutoff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cutoff. Look at it. Look at the ace jack. It's a good raise, but it's not pure.
This is an interesting spot.
That's how strong this guy's range is.
Sorry.
Okay, but everything changes with it, but everything changes when this queen jack comes along.
Yeah. Phew. Do you still squeeze?
Don't go that far. Look at these two hands and tell me what they should do, and then tell me what they might do. We need to know both.
I mean, I would fold them still.
Yeah, you'd be right. Should the
Yeah.
king, is the king queen here? Yeah, he shouldn't squeeze now.
Yeah. I mean,
I think you
No,
squeeze
no.
the
Too strong.
suited
You don't-
variety,
you
but
don't-
not this variety.
Oh, yeah,
you
the
don't
queen
you don't get
queen.
to squeeze a range like that's looser than the normal 3-bet.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a 10-8 suited call here. And if this 10-7 suited calls, I'm not gonna go, what the hell's going on? Because I've seen enough of these all face-up hands.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they, like the players can do it, but I'm just saying
Good.
it's
All right.
not something I'd
Now-
ever do.
Facing 3. What is this? What should this king queen do? And what do you think he's gonna do?
I mean, again, I would just fold still. But like, I mean, who knows what he's a broken stack, so he'll probably just gonna call. We'll see.
Mike, do we really need to speculate on what random knuckleheads will do? Yeah, I think that's I think that's part of what Mondays are about, in the sense.
I don't know. I mean, we're just putting into, intentions.
much
and
time. All right, let's just
people,
move through.
Yeah.
Let's analyze it after they do it. Good enough. I think this king queen intelligently, I think he should be widening his squeeze range. And even though this initial one was from the.
Why would you get to widen your range when you're against more players?
Because these two ranges are capped and super capped. And all I have to do is get by this guy. And when I get by this guy, the payoff is huge because this dead money comes along. That's why.
I think it's just not necessarily always the case that like you're always going to get auto folds from these people that limp. Like we saw earlier that I mean you can see people will limp good hands and call them sometimes still.
Yep, that's also true.
Because like some people just don't 3-bet.
Yep.
So yeah, if someone's not got like a 3% 3-bet, but they call still, you just no way you can raise them with a tight range here because it's going to be strong.
True. All right, now on ace jack.
Yeah, this one's tricky. I mean, you probably just fold this, which is crazy. But I mean, like in theory, I guess you probably fold it, but I would probably still three bet it just because I'm aggro. So
I think this is a great three bet, and I think it's
Yeah.
not even a terrible call. GTO probably has no calls, even when you put in a rake structure that gives you two calls here, doesn't have a third call.
mm,
But I think in a choice between calling and folding, I think this is a way better call than fold. And I like it as a three bet.
uh,
Oh, we should have said, and size. Size?
I think you probably. I'd probably go like 10.
I like
10-ish, like around
6, 8, 10, 11. I like 11 and a half.
that. Yeah.
He goes 14, and it should work.
I think the thing is here you have to consider, right, is the undergun range is already really strong, and even though they are recreationals, you don't, unless we know what kind of recreational they are, they're gonna like still have ranges that you have to get through. So I think Ace Jack will be not winning much money at all. Like when you get called, you're definitely losing. Like you get all of your money from people folding. It's like a bluff almost. But yeah, I guess not in this case. So yeah. Oh, now okay. Well, all I said just was just not applying this situation. I guess Queen Jack should check if cool, right. Just raise them.
Excuse
raise
me.
them.
All right.
Like can we jam or not? Probably just like click it or like to like 4 or maybe to like 40, 35 to like 45.
In game, I would call this 100%. I would never raise this.
No, just get the money in versus
Okay.
these people.
Okay, let's see what he does. He does, and he absolutely does the. Are you even allowed to do that? How does?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
I'm in raise.
you're allowed to do that. Yeah, okay.
Yep, and then we just
there you go.
send it back. Yep.
Now you just jam. Now,
Yeah. With that, that's literally what my intention is against these people. Because I mean, I would expect to see an ace X here, but that's what I do with ace jack. Like expecting like an ace X, I just like click it back at them, and then they jam, and then you just stack them.
Yeah.
Like.
And when they have pocket threes and pocket, jacks.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're gonna have so much like
Yeah.
suited ace X. I just prefer to just get it in versus them. If you have a good hand versus a fish, they're gonna and it's already gone through that pot. You just pile the money in, dude.
Yep.
Like
You're right.
Yeah.
Skate has the best advice here of how to play this hand.
I would never leave that table. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. All
Good
right.
table.
All right. Arturus, next hand is yours.
Freeze raise.
Threes raise.
Small blind free bet.
Small blind three bets, extra small,
Yeah, we call.
call. We were gonna call anyway, but now we call even more.
No idea what he does. Probably, but small, but he probably doesn't do.
I think he can, yeah, well, first of all, I think this hand can bet. Two overcards in the back door and having three bet already.
I was trying to picture his range, what he three bets, but it's so difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna, Larry, we're gonna put this in solve just to see what the small blind should do if this is a range bet or not.
Oh, but like, what is he free betting? Like, when he goes to small, he should go lean, but.
Well, we're gonna give him the real size. We're gonna give him the real size with it.
That and then he's betting polar like whole pot, I think.
Okay. So he goes for the pure check.
You block.
I gotta bet
don't know.
small, right?
Yeah, actually, I don't know. I think you block, but I don't know. Maybe you have whole pots.
Yeah. Do I ever check it behind? I don't think so.
No.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet insultingly small.
Yeah, I'm like, I was thinking 5, but it's okay. He calls.
Oh, he's got to call. He can't fold now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's my
Check.
money. He
Bet
checks.
first.
Now you have some you have some bad checks here.
Yeah, because he just doesn't have a queen.
You really want his spades to get that.
Yeah,
No, you want 12 bet versus 8, I think.
yeah. If I bet at all, it's gotta be small. I think check is right. No, no. Terrible.
Like this is too big, you make 8s indifferent. And then you bet like 14, you like
Yeah,
8s, I still call.
yeah. And I
Ace
guess
king might.
yeah.
Whatever.
the one thing is when the queen pairs, in his mind, I have fewer queens, and so his jacks and tens that chose not to bet. Yeah, I like check. I agree with you, Skate. I think check is the best thing here.
On turn.
Because money, it's just like I'm going, how will I possibly stack him if I don't bet this big? And it's like, you're not gonna stack him unless he has a stackable hand. That in which
Okay,
case he's gonna
so-
bet it.
So this is
Yeah.
a 3-bet pot cutoff versus small bet, right?
Yeah, there's a 3-bet pot cutoff versus small blind. And a bet here, jacks can call when the queen pairs, they go, I have fewer queens. So the jacks can call. But I want to make it easy for the jacks to call, and this is not easy.
Okay,
Alright.
so
So I
So
should
go
check or
check.
bet small.
I
You were
don't
saying,
think-
Tris?
No, I think like still half is good, 13 is good, 60% is good. But anyway,
I
It
mean,
goes-
you really just want him to, if he has spades, you want him to get there.
Yeah,
And you're definitely gonna have some trap checks here. People don't like it. I mean, people are like, bet your equity, but you're just like,
he just doesn't have a queen.
so he does, so, okay, you guys can see?
Yeah.
So this looks like it's a good flop for out of position. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause you have so many queens, and you can see it here, cause you can see the linear equity graph here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The small
you're-
the
you're-
small blind is looking very good, in the middle of the range. Actually, no, small blind's doing very good when he has anything. When this flop hits the small blind, it hits him big. And I lose.
Yeah, you've got none advantage though. Well, no, he's got queens pure, so.
He has
okay.
the nut advantage. I have the,
I-
I have the, air advantage.
Yeah, you got the air advantage. So he chose to check, which is in there.
And rollovers ace king real quick. I just want to look at his suit. His suit does it the least, right? You pull up,
Checks the least.
let's see. No, his suit,
You check the most with your front door, actually, ironically.
yeah, so second most, okay.
So he
Alright, so
checks.
check is
Now,
fine.
now comes the real question. What are you doing with your sets? So when you
betting,
do have your sets, you're not supposed to have these, you do call these sometimes. The threes, which are purely unblocking everything you've got with pure.
and they
which you
bet
found.
small,
And you chose,
but I
this-
bet
you-
too small. Yeah, but I bet too small. I bet insultingly small.
I liked your bet. I
Yeah,
thought
it
was-
turned
that
out to
was
be
good.
a good idea, because
And he is supposed to continue.
right?
He's got some check raises.
Yeah. I would have liked to see one of those check raises.
Notice his backdoor check, it calls pure, his front door,
Yeah.
check raises, and he's. Nothing hands here. Check raise the most. So,
Well-
call, and then. And I think you're gonna have trap checks here. This card is an equity shift, must be equity shifting, because now you're docking into them at very high frequency. So you must play a lot of your queens this way.
Why do I not have
Uh-huh.
my threes? Where have my threes gone?
We're
Look at
small,
you.
in small blinds.
Oh, we're small blind, right? Of course, he never has.
We're
one.
looking
Okay.
at small blinds first. So. He does get to check this.
He
quite a
does
bit.
some honking.
Yeah,
Why
there's a lot of donking that goes on this node.
Yeah.
This must really shift equity to you. You must have like a trips advantage here. He
You mean
checks. Now,
small
I
blind?
think you're gonna have trap checks. I've said it 6 times. Let's see if I'm wrong 6 times. I am wrong. I'm wrong
What?
7 times. Use bet pure.
And the
I thought
size,
you'd have trap check.
right, and the size is 75%.
Yeah, you put it well.
Yeah.
With both your,
Okay.
both your
Yeah.
sets.
And Arturus said he thought it was a definite, he thought it was a definite, punt to check. So,
Well, I guess the Taurus isn't the punter then, is he?
no, no. And I bet the right amount, but I agreed with the wrong amount. And it doesn't matter because there was no more money in this hand. Buy fish cakes.
Yeah.
Good to
We're
go.
just going crazy.
Yeah.
Well played.
So good enough. And the adjustment I'm thinking of is because I didn't bet 8.3. I didn't bet 33%. I bet so small that when that small didn't get a check raise, his range I thought was so weak that maybe I needed to make an adjustment.
Doesn't matter, like, it's better to block versus whatever is king. He doesn't have jack ten, right? When he check calls on the flop.
No, does he have pocket jacks? Does he have pocket
He's
tens?
gonna have jack 10 with front doors and back doors. I
The
think.
thing is, when it goes check, check, what's your plan? It checks again on wherever you
Front
block
door.
anyway. You cannot overbet. Maybe
Yeah.
you can. His range didn't change.
I can overbet if I can overbet if the spade comes in. I can overbet an ace or a king
Why are we overbetting on a spade?
because I have a full house and maybe he has spades.
Okay, could
Actually,
you
no, I
show?
don't need to. He'll check raise me with spades, right? Who knows?
Oh, when you bet, yeah. When you bet, you can overbet. When it goes check, check, I don't know.
Well, it's not check. Yeah, check, turn, and then he checks the river.
You're gonna shove with your full houses here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just shove.
Okay. So Arturus, I believe the hand is yours next. I believe
I
that's,
just did it.
yeah, that was you. Okay, then I believe it's me. And here we go. 6 max. There's nothing good about 6 max.
Share,
Share
Alright.
screen.
Okay. King 10 is
share,
got what?
share your screen.
Share. Oh, good idea. That helps. All right, here we go. The king 10 has 8 big blinds. He should just jam. He should just jam. Okay. I should fold. And the ace queen should just jam. We're done. And the king 10 should call. And not get there. All right. Skate.
Right, open king, queen suited and the hijack. And we should take it.
Okay. Now let's see. What about this 8-9? Can't I misplay that?
Oh, I would prefer 9-10, but 8-9.
Well, I
Do we have
prefer-
any partials?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, let's hope.
King queen should now.
3-bet, no
3
calls.
bet's good. This is a good 3 bet. He does. We're
Let's
seeing a
go
lot of
to
3 bets to 8, by the way.
Yep.
This is common.
Okay. And coming back around to us, which it should. Let's see. Yep. I think we could call. Yeah.
I think it's pure call, is my memory. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this is easy. I check range, right? Why am I talking for you? Skate, you talk.
Yep. Check bet fold.
Larry,
Ace 10. RFIs here.
big.
And the ace queen is. Yeah, it is big. The ace queen's in kind of a weird place here.
Poster.
Oh, not big. Poster. Thank you.
The ace queen is in a weird spot, but I think you keep bet pure here.
If
Ace
you,
jack mixes, but I think ace queen's too far up. Ace queen suited's too far up. Ace
Yeah.
queen off is a fold.
if you look at the Scotty argument about with a poster, this guy's missing the bottom of his bluffing range. This guy doesn't have a bluffing range very much in the in the under the gun spot anyway. So we can ignore that. And if ace queen is willing to raise his normal range, ace queen is willing to range his slightly filtered range from that, and should do it. And look at, by the way, look at the donkey who posted in the who posted.
It did.
I believe this is the one correct time you can post. I think at a 9-handed table, when everybody's there, that you get to post in this position. And that it's profitable to do this rather than to wait for the big blind. Because in the big blind, you have to pay the big blind and the small blind, and it gives you the button. Here, you don't get to get the button, but you only play one big blind and you still get this many free hands. So I think that it's not a bad idea to come in there. Maybe I'm wrong.
So ace queen suited should go to like 10, maybe 11.
10 is great, 10.5. Fold around to ace.
And-
10. And is this cuspy this early, or does he just fold?
Just
think
fold.
he- I think he mostly folds.
Okay.
Especially now that we've got this inflated pot.
Yeah.
I think we fold.
But they're deeper stacked to make up for the inflated pot. So there's still ratios are right. So he
Yeah,
raised,
we saw this earlier. It's like a 90% fold or something
yeah.
like that.
Oh, it's much more. It's now. Yeah, that's huge there. Okay. Fold.
But he's not. He's gonna call.
He's gonna call. YOLO.
Okay, so he's got a call, and let's go to the flop. Point a flop. So, I think in theory this is better for the 3-bet caller, but I'm not sure about this early position. His range
Yeah.
is super condensed. So I think a lot of our heuristics are thrown out here. I mean, a lot of my heuristics are built around 6 max, not 9 max. So, clearly I don't think he gets donks. Check. Do we, so. Well, we saw this earlier today that it was late position versus late position. I think he can default to a bet small here. Look at B33. He does. He's 10, just doesn't really have anything going on, just gets so in the way.
That's nice. Okay. Does anybody care about what the sizing on that ace queen is? I don't think we need to look it up. If somebody wants to stick it in a solver just to tell us if that size is right, I'm happy, but I don't care. I believe in it. I believe it's right. Oh, boy. Congratulations, Mike. You have action.
Yeah, this could get interesting here. Okay, so
Look at my cards. Oh, I love my cards in this hand.
so Queen Jack opens, aces 3-bet, ace king 4-bet, Queen Jack fold, aces jam, ace king then has a decision depending on how big sizings they go here. This is all good sizings according to GTO Wiz using 4x opens. 10 is the standard. Oh, ace king just flats.
Ace
This
king
is,
flat.
yeah, this stuff. That's a cold 4 pure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is not losing his money in the right order.
I bet it would even jam at some frequency.
All right. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Fours fold. I mean, they should. And
They
who knows?
should. They
We can
definitely
speculate
should.
all day long what they're gonna do. So now that it got back here, I mean, Queen Jack, yeah, I mean, it's not that much more, but you're just out of position. Yeah, I think it should just be a fold.
Now it's fold.
So now we get to play we're going 3-way.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the ace king off is definitely not a fold. It's a jam or a 4-bet.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
its cold 4 size?
It would be like 21,
21.
22
okay.
maybe.
We're gonna look at the pre-flop action there, because we'll stick we'll see if there's any calls on the button with the 4 size to open with.
So now that we get multi-way here, Queen Jack clearly, obviously, is going to check. Aces, in theory, it wants to check a lot, knowing that the under the gun or the that first player is going to check range. Aces should have, in theory, some check behinds as well. Although I don't think it's probably more profitable to take against two players that are clearly not playing optimally. I think you just want to get value, and I would probably just c-bet. And I would just c-bet to a smallish size, like B33.
Would you ever check raise here?
No, I wouldn't count on the other player betting. That's
Okay.
that's the thing.
Yeah, they have a lot of under pairs to the king here.
I mean, I would check raise if I like, again, if we're playing optimally against two optimal opponents, which we're clearly not, because we're in a situation that would not get here in theory. So I'm banking these players to be you know, put them in the old recreational bucket. And when we do that, they're not, I don't know, maybe they do stab more often, but in a three-way pot, 3-bet, I'd say it's going to check more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I would kind of not really follow theory here, and I would just value bet.
So he checks, which
Like,
is,
no need to be balanced, right?
why be balanced? Small,
So I think the aces should check raise.
Now we check raise, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just, okay, he wants to do that. Yeah, if we're just way off.
he's
the
just repping,
reservation.
he's just repping queens. He's repping, he's presenting ace king with queens.
Yeah, and again, we're just speculating. He might think, oh my God, they have a set. Yeah, like, we don't know what they're thinking,
That's
right?
true.
I think
So
he's
let's
gotta
see, if
check
he
raise
does
here.
take this line and he checks, then just continue to check and let him bet.
He goes there when it's. I don't, he's not, I guess, he's not afraid of anything.
No,
So he just
Yeah, so
thought,
he-
yeah, but it's
yeah.
gonna work. All the money's gonna go in. It's just the order of the money
yeah,
going.
it's just a cooler at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it would have been a cooler pre-flop too.
I would like to take a look really quick, not Larry, Mike, if you can put up with the 4-bet open. Just looking at the opening sequence,
Okay.
and we're gonna put the, we're gonna look at what the button who has a calling range, if this button even has a calling range. Okay,
So it was hijack,
yep, hijack raised. Oh, no, it was, no, it was low jack.
low jack.
Low jack is the queen jack suited. So low jack raises to 4 with queen jack suited, and he has that. We go to 10 with the aces. Good. The cutoff has no,
So there is a little sliver of folding in there.
Yeah.
But no jamming. I thought there would be more jamming,
right,
but the size is to 20.
right. Now, go to the button. Now, rather than give it to him, go to the button and see if the button has any calls.
No, they would never, you'd never flat a
You
3
never
bet.
flat through it. Yeah, so it just doesn't exist. Right, okay, that's all I needed to see. Big blind, no, big blind. Big blind allowed a flat?
Not a 3 bet.
You can't be flatting here ever. Nope, there are no flats. All right. Great, thank you.
Yep.
All right. That was Mike. So Arturas. Arturas, unmute.
Yeah, we can't see your screen.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hit, oh, that's why. Well, then just make it up, play blind. Uh,
Ace ten raise,
forgetting
ace
her name.
queen.
I'm forgetting her name. She was famous for winning a tournament playing her hands blind.
I don't know.
Vanessa Selps, that was her. So play Vanessa Selps. Okay, here we go.
Ace ten raise, ace queen.
Saw this one.
We saw this one.
Okay.
We saw this one. We're going up. Oh, we're done. Perfect. All right. So those are all the hands. And so today, because we just ran out of those hands, rather than find a Scotty hand, we're just gonna leave it at that.
Why did you post here?
Oh, so that's a good question. So this is my opinion, and I could be wrong on this. That at a 9-handed table, posting immediately one to the, immediately after the button is profitable, as opposed to waiting for the big blind, not being impatient. as opposed to playing the big blind and the small blind and getting the button. And here's why I think it's true, which is in both cases, to get into the hand, you have to post one big blind, right? You know, to get into the sequence. Here, I have to play the hand out of position when my one big blind. Here, I often get to play it in position if the hand is playable. There, my cutoff is a relatively wide raising range, so when it gets folded to me, I can defend this one big blind, you know, relatively wide. And the only thing I give up is, so I don't have to play out of position, and I don't have to put in a small blind, but I don't get to be a button. And so that's the trade-off. One way I do this, the other way I pay a blind and a half out of position, where I play one blind in position,
So why not post on bottom?
because they're not allowed to.
What do you mean? And how are we allowed to
Can't get
post
in.
there?
In other words, if you sit down at a table and you sit down in what would be the button position, they
Mhm.
will not let you post.
For real? I didn't know.
For real, yeah. What you do is
Okay.
like, if, you have to wait a hand. You can only post now.
Mhm.
In
see, I
some
see.
limit games, you can do what's calling posting, you post in between, which means if the deuce 5 here is the button, so let's put you in the queen 10. If the king 4 is the button, you're allowed to post an extra big blind in the queen 10 position to get into the game.
So
So-
2 big blinds?
One big blind.
Oh, okay, one. Just,
Right.
yeah.
And so your advantage there is you post one big blind out of position and you get the button, and
Mhm.
you don't have to ever play a small blind.
That makes sense.
So
Kind of.
imagine the following game. I'm gonna offer you 2 games that are not allowed in poker. And I'm gonna tell you which one do you want to play at. Okay, in one, you're gonna post the big blind and the small blind every round and play the button. In the other, I'm going to allow you to skip your small blind and your big blind. You never have to pay the small blind and big blind. And you can
Mhm.
just put one big blind in the cutoff, but you never get the button. Which is a better game for you?
Yeah, and your like position still rotate the same way.
Yeah,
Yeah, when cut off.
right. So that's why I think this might be better. But if you then move me to the hijack or the low jack,
Yeah,
offered me the same deal, I'd say, no, I'll post my blinds, because now I'm missing the button and I'm missing the button. Because in this one, I say you can only post, you only have to post one big blind, but you never get to pay the button or the cutoff. I would say, no, that's a bad game for me.
Mhm.
But I think this is a good game for me, and that's why I do it.
yeah, sounds good.
Right. But one more thing, and then, because, why beat a dead horse other than the pure joy of it, to quote Whitney Brown. By the way, I have kicked a dead horse in my life.
Good times.
I did. So the other thing that can go wrong with this is the table has to be full. But if you do this and any one of these people leaves the table when their blind comes, and so you therefore don't get the full set, then it's a bad deal. Because the shorter the table gets, the worse a deal this is. All right. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube.
GG, guys.
There we go.
I didn't hear the stop recording.
I know I didn't. I was in the wrong mode. Goodbye, YouTube.